paying attention to the Invoker, the entirety of his kit usage, but I was wondering where the Deafening Blast was, because I feel like at any point, if there was a Deafening Blast on the Morphling and or the OD, they could have just completely turned the fight. Regardless, SCC was kind of running for the majority of the fight because he knows that if he gets stunned up by either Sanking or Kunkka, they might just burst him. So good positioning by him. Unfortunately, he loses all of his teammates.
Yeah, not a very pleasant outcome for that fight. A couple of BKB charges also being used. Gyrocopter down to 8 seconds. Kaka's hunting for Sylar down here at bottom. They're going to interrupt his TP. Why not? Actually, Sunstrike now coming in. He's stunned for a little bit too long. The Lingot is not going to help him out, and now SCC looking for more Fade, able to get into the Glimmer Cape, but that's only going to last a couple more seconds, and SCC's on the hunt. The Dust does not connect, but now the Yules into the Ice Path, to the Ice Wall, sorry, along with the Cold Snap, and Fade is long dead. He's going to accept his fate. SCC picking up a mega kill streak with a double kill.
Yeah, and that was a real free one, because the Morphling was just TPing, looking away from his screen. Here's the thing about the TPing against the Nyx Assassin too, is that whenever you're TPing against the Nyx, you actually have to just watch your hero. Because the moment a Nyx will see your TP, they'll always try to hit you with a Vendetta first. And if you're really, really fast, what you can do is after the Vendetta hit, you can actually dodge the stun. And that's usually enough to survive, no matter what. So most of the time, the problem is when you're TPing away, you're looking at the place that you're TPing, right? So it's really difficult.
Yeah, and Sylar dead for 20 seconds. That's going to be a completely free tier 2, and now Freeze is the one getting run at here by SCC. Doesn't manage to catch him with the Tornado, but he still suspects that he's up here, and it's going to be a BKB TP out. Freeze not going to mess around, and Newbee will be forced to let him go. But they know that the BKB is on cooldown now, so 60-second window for Newbee to potentially look to take even more.
And they'll just pressure the tier 2 top. That's the last remaining objective outside of base, and SCC is really, really strong. So he wants to just pressure it himself while the team actually goes to a different part of the map. Ideally, they actually rotate towards the jungle right now with Mugi as well as the Naga Siren and Nyx. But yeah. Naga went for a Hood of Defiance. I was thinking KPR was actually going to buy Blink so he can get the Blink combo in. Speaking of combos, top lane.
they're comboing something up there, but it's just an illusion.
Comboing something, alright.
Yeah. I almost had the BKB for the Invoker, those couple of kills. And with that, SCC should be able to actually stand his ground in these fights, right? That was the big problem last fight.
Exactly. He's going to be the strongest hero in that fight for sure during the duration of the BKB. He will definitely kill at least 2 heroes just by himself. He does so much damage right now with the Max X Sword as well as like Alacrity right clicks.
They're looking for DDC. Sunster coming in. Kaka setting up. These Nyx Assassin movements have been fantastic from Kaka, and Sylar knows that he can't really chase him down. This feels pretty reminiscent of last game, with Newbee just doing that little bit better, keeping all the lanes shoved. You know, this isn't a Radiance Naga Siren, but the illusions are still being very annoying in terms of pushing out the lanes. Invoker's also pretty good at it. And they're creating this nice little pocket of farm for Mugi to just take up the entire Dire jungle and keep getting big. He's just working on a Lincoln Sphere at the moment. Doesn't want to be forced to pop the BKB every single time Sylar looks at him, right?
Yeah, it's also every time Sylar looks at him. That's right. The nice thing about Lincoln's too is that he can put it on the Invoker. And once again, like Mugi's job this game is not to be the main carry, SCC is. So he just has to play kind of like that supporting cast or semi-utility type of hero. And Gyro can certainly do that, right? Because he already has so much damage anyway.
Yeah, and everything for the Invoker in this kind of situation. They're setting up Sunstrike kills. They're going to be protecting as much as they can. And you got a Glimmer Cape. No Force Staff or anything just yet. Kaka going for a Yule Scepter into a Blink, and not going to be going back for an Ags. This Nyx is actually quite farmed. VCJ Thunder have picked up a gem. Again, feeling maybe a little bit suffocated on their side of the map, trying to reclaim a little bit of control. Hardly any wards on the map right now. In fact, both teams pretty much sitting on 0 vision. But that's where these Naga Illusions and the Forge Spirits and all the other little things for Newbee are coming into effect.
Yeah, all of these expendable units and summons are going to get so much vision for this Nyx Assassin to get in there and do whatever he wants. So Newbee are definitely winning on that vision department, even though they're the ones without the gem.
Yeah. And Thunder wanted this bottom tier 1 tower, but they're not even going to get it. And now Faith, along with these siege creeps and the Forge Spirits, is going to get the tier 2 up top for free, which is going to make it...
See what he's doing? Look at how deep he is, right? Like, he's just trying to force heroes to come, show, and in the process, he's getting the tower for free as well. So because of Freeze's natural disadvantage this game from his net worth, like can't run into this Witch Doctor and just like apply solo kill pressure, which is why he ported at the back of the tower. He also doesn't know where the Nyx assassin is, so he has to play it pretty safe. But Newbee are just winning an all out on the attrition battle, and I think the next Roshan is going to be the big fight.
They do have enough gold on Sylar to grab a BKB, so Sylar also going to be pretty strong in this upcoming fight. Even going to get X'd so he can TP back and then bring back his BKB. SCC needs to be careful. If he gets stunned, he might not be able to get off that BKB, though KP is going to be just around the corner with the Song of the Siren at the ready. And Newbee also going to be picking up a gem of their own, immediately spotting this one of the 2 Radiant Observer Wards on the map and getting rid of that.
Yeah, and you know what? After that, they have to know, like, VG Thunder are probably operating on very low vision.
Yeah. Trying to make some more X plays. Kunkka gonna head back, grab a couple more items, mana up. Roshan is there for the taking, and Newbee have scouted it out. SCC gonna force Thunder to reveal their positioning as he does push up onto the high ground down at bottom. This Alacrity Force Spirit making pretty quick work of the tier 3, and they're just getting ratted to death. It's not it's not a carry Naga, but they've still got more than enough rat on the Newbee side.
They have to respond to these. This is the problem. This Invoker with the bots is so mobile now.
Alright, at least they get Kafka. Catch him out with that gem.
Well, BKB though.
Yeah.
So they actually can't do Roshan or anything out of it. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like the worst feeling. Is like you get a nice kill, you get somebody that's like hunting you and taking over map control against you, and that's all nice and dandy. But they can't still push out the waves past the river, or at least enough to go for a different objective or a different play. So essentially, they're getting nothing but the raw gold and the EXP for that kill, and that's just not enough to crawl back into this game.
A little bit of Sunstrike scouting into the pit, like we're saying. Both teams a little bit low on the vision. Oh, Yang running forward very aggressively, spots Faith, but it is daytime, they see each other. And he'll be able to shoot back to the tower now. SCC is actually hunting aggressively. He's almost got his Hex completed, doesn't have it just yet. Yang can't afford to lose this gem. They're going to catch him with the Song. They won't be able to get straight into the meteor, but they've also got this ice wall down, and Sandrum just dead. That's the gem gone. He had his Blink, he had his Force Staff, he had Burrow, he just didn't think that he would get caught.
The timing on that's weird right now. They made it so like you don't always get 100% stun, but there are times when you still can't react, I think. Just due to like the nature of server ticks and stuff. Yeah. Also, there was an ice wall there, so I think that might have been there to deter that also.
Yeah, I think that.
But yeah, this is gonna be a good Roshan fight for Newbee here.
They're gonna try and contest it though. They do get the Gyrocopter locked down a little bit. No BKB just yet for Mugi. He's still surviving. Macropyre ticking them down a little bit. They also buy back on Yang, but all they do is force Newbee outside of the pit. And Newbee should be able to re-engage before too long. They could even just wait for their Song of the Siren again, but in fact, they smoke up instantly.
This is Newbee base game. All they want to do is fight in a situation.
They just want to fight. This is going to be an awkward place to fight though. Thunder, kind of half on the high ground, half on the low ground. They also smoke. Who finds the angle of initiation? They reveal their positioning a little bit to this Naga illusion, and now Kaka jumps in, doesn't get the stun. He gets Burrow struck up, but he does actually manage to get the spiked Carapace off. Looks like Yang might be brought down. He uses himself, continues to survive. SCC laying into DDC with the right click. Siler's already popped his BKB, trying to find a way into the fight. He is right-clicking Mugi, but there's 3 Newbee heroes right-clicking him down. Freeze jumps in now with his BKB, but Mugi holds on his BKB until the last moment. Now they net up Freeze. They're just right-clicking him down, and as his BKB fades, they should be able to find this kill. Kaka might even look for the spiked Carapace as he pops out. He won't be able to get the blink off. He is dead. There's now chasing Sylar. He's got the Spirit Vessel, unable to really heal too much. Yang, nice turnaround, gets the epicenter damage in, but SCC saves himself with the Yules. They get the stun of the Sylar, looking to finish him off with the Sunstrike. He waveforms forward. Tornado's not going to find him. Newbee still chasing. This is Newbee after all, as you were saying, Claire. They get Sylar inside of the base. They're not going to settle for 4. They want all 5. They get Fade, and Newbee still looking healthy after all is said and done. They've got their creep wave here. And this is looking like a very easy lane of racks, or even just the game at this point. But the Odie just couldn't do anything. He blinked in, popped BKB, and Mugi was like, yes, I will also pop BKB. Good luck.
Yep. When the Odie behind like that from the laning phase, you know, there's just really not much you can accomplish. Some kills coming out here on DDC as well.
Newbee feeling themselves here.
I don't know, man. I didn't really see the direction of this series going this way, but I won't lie. Just a couple good moves from Newbee, especially in the mid-game phase where they're getting a lot of these chain kills, and suddenly VGJ Thunder finding themselves tapping out.
Yeah, they never managed to really get the OD back into the game. Do you still think that there was too early of a pick?
Oh,
to pick it
100%.
third?
Man. Yeah, 100%. Like the thing with these drafts right now is like it's so important, and there's a very big reason why teams pick first pick like 90% of the time, right? They want to hide these core cards as much as possible to enable them and give them a good game. Teams like Secret and Liquid are the outliers in a sense that they pick some of these heroes. They don't care like how Mid One or Matuma Man play or how like, they do in their lanes, right? Because they just trust them to catch up or something like that. With Freeze, he's a very farm-oriented player. I've never seen him play like these types of pucks or like just pure utility mids where they just go around with like a low net worth but always try to have a huge amount of impact. And I think this game already, like, it was a pretty good demonstration of that. Like he even had his highest net worth carry poured into his lane to try and salvage a situation. Like that's like you got to be doing something on comms to get something like that going. You know what I'm saying? So I was genuinely surprised that they picked the third, ended up playing against the counters, and wasn't able to make much of it. But that's just the circumstances of Dota sometimes. It's like the enemy just had better rotations.
Yeah. I do have to give some credit to Yang. I think he played pretty nicely on his Sand King, kind of kept them going through the early stages. I mean, he got all those kills up top with the help of Fade. And he needed to have a pretty good game for VCJ Thunder to have any kind of a chance, right? When you've got Morphling and OD as your two cores, they are relatively immobile. Yeah.
Dude, like he has the highest damage on his team. Him and Fade were pretty much putting the team on their backs, but it just wasn't enough. Like, at the team fights, especially with the BKBs and the Naga deterrents, they just couldn't get the full damage output they needed to burst down something like the Invoker, for example.
Yeah, it was just so hard for Yang to, as tanking, you want to get in, you get that first Blink Burrow, then you kind of manage to force staff yourself away, reset, find a little hidey hole, wait for your Blink to cool down again, and then you come back in with the Epicenter. And I think the thing for Newbee was that they were often just catching him after that first Burrow strike. Either he was getting carapaced or he was getting netted, and at that point he can't win the fights for his team. And Newbee did such a good job of controlling Sylar, I think, as well in the fights. They were able to itemize so that no one ever really got shotgunned down instantly. They had Yules, they had Glimmer Capes. As soon as they saw that projectile come in, there was always going to be something to block it. And that really hurt the Morphling's game a lot. There were even situations there where we saw Sylar trying to stand his ground and right-click, and he just couldn't do anything. He was right-clicking 2v1 and just can't win that fight. So
yeah. Very, very odd. Again, like Hunka is just not the best. It's not the best forward position for lane shoving and stuff, right? Or applying a lot of kill pressure without a core that does damage. Now, OD is definitely one of the heroes you want with it because OD generally has a large output of damage. But this Nyx Assassin had his impact, right? Like OD's playing with so low mana pool all the time that even his orb doesn't do that much damage. So overall, Newbee had a better strat and they executed.
So with that, VCJ Thunder will not be able to take the #1 spot here in Group B. They're going to end on 6 points. They're still going to move forward in DPL Top 2018 Season 1, so this isn't the last we'll be seeing of them, but they're going to have quite a lot to prove as we move forward into DAC. Newbee, they're not done just yet. They still have another 2-game series against EHOME that's going to be happening in about 20 minutes. Claire, I don't know if you want to join me for that one as well.
Basically, I'll be honest. I wasn't planning to, but I enjoyed this cast and I enjoyed watching these games, so I would like to join you for the next series if possible.
Nice. Sounds good. So yeah, so the next lobby's up. Newbee now have 5 points overall, so if they win the next one, they could... so even if they win the next one, they can't actually take #1 in the group because they got 2-0'd by IGV. So their best placement is second, but EHOME actually fighting for their lives because they've only got 4 points. So if they get, if they actually get 2-0'd, then they are out. Actually, wait, are they out no matter what at this point? Actually, not no matter what. If they 2-0, they can stay in. That's it. I think that's pretty much the case. I'll have a look at it during the break. Any other? But I'm looking ahead too much. Claire, any other closing thoughts on this series for Newbee or VG Thunder?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate to see VG Thunder lose coming from the VG Storm side here.
Right.
Our brothers, our affiliates.
Your heart goes out to them.
Yeah, if I have a Chinese heart, it lies with VG Thunder. But however, Newbee, obviously they have the whole like Western fandom going on here. They got some really amiable characters in SCC as well as KPI, who's affiliated a lot with the Western pros and has that image as an English speaker. So shout outs to them. They did a great job. VG Thunder, ROTK is a great coach. He'll pick them back up in shape. And these losses, the truth is you need these losses and you need to be able to cope with them in order to become like the greatest team. And I'm sure they will be fine.
Yeah. All right, so with that, guys, we're going to be heading to about a 15-20 minute break. We'll be back with Newbee versus EHOME, so hopefully catch you for that one. And VTJ Thunder, well, they're just going to have to set their sights forward onto DAC, kicking off tomorrow. So catch you guys soon. All right, a little bit of a longer break than anticipated, but we are finally back for DPL 2018 Season 5 or Season 1 of 2018. I don't know who's keeping track of this stuff, but we got Newbee versus EHOME. 2-game series. Pretty important matchup here, but before we get into all the nitty-gritty details, I'm going to welcome in my co-caster once again. Claire, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Yeah, doing well. Finally looking forward to getting into this Dota. I thought we were going to be starting like 20-something minutes ago. Newbee all trickled into the lobby. I think they were having some kind of coordinator problem or something with Kaka's PC, so it's finally sorted out, and we can get ourselves into this match. So in terms of the stakes, EHOME, they have to 2-0 here to move forward in DPL. Newbee, they're through no matter what, but if they 2-0 this series, then they actually take the #1 spot in the group, which I believe moves them forward like straight into the semifinals or something of the next round. So well worth it here. Every win pretty important for Newbee. EHOME, if they go down in the first game, I guess that's it for them, unfortunately. EHOME have been looking all right. I cast a game of theirs. They lost the Starlighter qualifier 2-0 against LGD the other day, but like you were saying earlier, LGD have just been on an absolute tear. So I guess we'll see how EHOME do in this series. Yeah,
their LGD has been on a Chinese rampage, destroying pretty much everybody that they come in contact with. EHOME, this is a roster that's it's hard to say. First of all, are they still under that ace ban or whatever it's going on?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. So obviously, due to like the problems in the past, they had some limitations on their tournament participations.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see them here. They're actually one of the stronger Chinese teams. Not just by title. Obviously, had some EHOME as a whole had some former glory with different rosters. Now they've got Faith Beyond and Y Innocence, who are 2 TI winners. They're actually pretty strong, but they again, like, they haven't had the tournament participation to truly demonstrate their worth and strength.
Yeah, and I think people are looking at like CTY as well. He's been well, I guess it's odd to say, but he's been an up-and-coming player for a while, right? Everybody seems to have fairly high expectations of him, but still hasn't really maybe filled those shoes just yet. So we'll see if they can pick up some more momentum as we move towards TI this year.
Yeah, CTY is good. He's generally just been like, he's had that hype a couple of years ago, and then he's just been consistently good throughout. Again, no real major showings because, I don't know, something about him and the teams that he's on. Like, I never hear anything about him being like a cancerous player or whatever, but for some reason he never really closed out with the bunch, and he actually has the mechanical skill, I believe, to get to that tier 1 scene like consistently. So whatever happens in the Chinese scene. Newbee going with the opening that they were facing against earlier with the tiny Rasta. I mean, pretty strong combo.
Yeah, this is like I mean, not exactly sure where this tiny is going to be played, but if this is the safe lane for Newbee, I can't really imagine too many offlaners that get anything against this setup. They're both very, very strong laning heroes. And I think the other thing is that for Newbee, if they wanted to here, you can run the tiny in the off lane, and then they can set up some kind of dual off lane, which could even have the Shadow Shaman as a part of it, and that would also be fairly scary. I like EHOME's answer. They've got the Earth Spirit, should be able to rotate around a little bit. Their mid lane, by the same token, is looking pretty scary, right? You get rolled in on by Earth Spirit, maybe you get kicked back towards the Death Prophet, and you're in some trouble at that point.
The DP also is a very solid first pick, as well as a great response pick to Tiny. Of course, you have the Spirit Siphon, really good against the Tiny. He's a melee hero with a lot of HP. The Rasta is just kind of a stable pick that doesn't show too much. It's a little more vulnerable in the laning stages, but I mean, who cares about what your support is when you have a Tiny core, right? He's just going to be the ultimate factor in the lane that he goes in.
It does look like EHOME's read right now is that maybe the Tiny is going to be played 1 or 2. They do ban out the Bat Rider, so maybe thinking that there's still the possibility that we see a KP hero. Actually, quite a lot of hate on some KP heroes here. I mean, the Naga Siren isn't just a KP hero for Newbee, but we saw that in the previous series. We got the Puck being banned out. We got the Bat Rider being banned. So maybe they will just have to push him onto the Tiny. But he's very capable on that hero as well, so I don't think Newbee are going to be too unhappy.
Yeah, the thing with these first pick Tinies is that you should never really bother with the guessing game if you're on the other team. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think the one thing that they can assume is that they don't want the Tiny mid against the Death Prophet, because obviously that's a favorable matchup for the DP. But regarding the two side lanes, like Newbee will just decide that by the 4th or the 5th pick at their leisure, because this Tiny can obviously go both places and still excel and do what he wants to do throughout the majority of the game, right? Just be a force that can pop somebody instantly, push out creep waves very fast, and of course, just be a very dominant laner overall. So the hero's design just allows this kind of flexibility. Henceforth, you know, the first pick. Chen!
Ooh, all right. We talked about this a lot in the previous series and how it was potentially getting banned for no good reason, but this time around Newbee are going to let it through, and EHOME will grab it. Not the most usual circumstances. They do already have kind of your position 4 in the Earth Spirit, so they now have sort of 2 roaming heroes and are just going to have to pick strong, independent solo laners.
Actually, this is probably the best duo in the game with the Chen right now. It's actually the Chen Earth Spirit. This is how Liquid plays it as well.
Yeah.
So they'll usually open up with like a Gyro Earth Spirit or Gyro Chen, and then they would get like the other one that's available. And the thing with Earth Spirit is it gives you a lot of reach, first of all, right? He's basically a hero that's built in with a Blink Dagger initiation, as well as the guaranteed right clicks with the Orb of Venom. And Chen is actually one of the most dominant lane supporters too, right? Because he just has a creep. And right now, the Chens usually, they don't actually just farm the jungle. They sit in the lane, usually in the off lane, and just disrupt the hell out of the enemy carry. Whether they can do that reliably against Tiny, I was about to say it's kind of difficult to say. But with the Earthshaker pick, like, that's another hero that's not very good in the laning stage. He can get bullied. He's really there just for kill pressure and to alleviate that guaranteed kill potential, right, with the Fisher. But he doesn't have that much presence as a whole. So this just got a little better for EHOME, I'd like to say.
Yeah, this is looking fast, it's looking aggressive. They've got some good tower taking potential, some strong lanes. I'm personally not a huge fan of Earthshaker in the current patch, but Newbee have been playing it a little bit, and Kaka just is really good at moving around on the Shaker and still managing to get things done in the early game. But similar to that Slardar that we talked about in the other series, where a little bit slow, doesn't really have the guaranteed ways to farm up his blink, which he really, really needs. And yeah, the EHOME lineup just looks so fast, and they still have room to pick up some very pushy, very aggressive cores if they want it, right? You could still see something like a Dragon Knight or something fitting into this lineup.
Yeah, exactly. Dragon Knight was one I was thinking of. The other one is Razor. Obviously, both heroes play quite well into Tiny, because they have the Chen that can guarantee one of those lanes. I would say it's a pretty good pick in terms of an open pick as well, because they still have the last pick of the game that they can set up for, you know, like, so for example, like they pick DK here, and then Newbee just picks like some sort of DK counter like OD. And then let's say EHOME decides to pick the strongest hero in the game in like a PA, TA, something that's going to be good against Tiny and OD, for example. They have some options because they have this open set with the Death Prophet, Earth Spirit, and Chen. Their lanes are looking very good so far.
Yeah, and they have somewhat flexible lanes as well, right? We do see teams sometimes running the Death Prophet in one of the side lanes. That is an option if they feel like the mid matchup isn't really going to work out, but EHOME are dipping pretty low into their reserve time here. Like you're saying, there's a lot of ways that this draft can expand from this point forward, especially with so many core picks still left on either side. So they got to make sure that whatever they grab here can't be too heavily counterpicked necessarily.
Newbee's turn
and
to
all right, it's going to be Pugna. They are going really fast this game. So still not much of a front line just yet, but their tower taking potential is enormous.
Yeah, so I was actually thinking Lifestealer on that spot. They do go for the Pugna and immediately countered by the Sniper, which is obviously very good against Chen and Pugna, but susceptible to being ran at. Of course, they have the Earthshaker deterrent, but I'm not sure how much it can stop the aggression coming out of EHOME. As you say, they're very fast. This is, at this point, I would say it's kind of all in. If EHOME, for whatever reason, come behind on the laning phase and they can't find an outlet to engage on the Sniper or his tower, the tier 1, by like 10 to 12 minutes, I would say this game is going to be a real quick like swing towards the other way in favor of Newbee. Because the design of EHOME's heroes is that they're not really built to high ground by scaling, they're doing it by force. And there are only so many things that you can force against a lineup that's designed to counter you, like, you know, to defend that high ground. And Shrapnel, as well as the Farm Tiny, those are some of the ways to do it.
Yeah, pushing high ground against Newbee is going to be scary, right? You can potentially get tossed in. There's the Sniper holding the line the entire time. Shaker Fisher maybe breaking up your lineup even further, so you can't really play together. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. EHOME, like you're saying, I think definitely need to come out of the laning stage swinging and get all those towers down nice and early get their items ready to go so they can break the high ground. And Newbee just even more spam, picking up the Underlord.
So right now they have like the two superior scaling cores in the sense that the Tiny is pretty good this game, although DP is obviously very good against the Tiny. But the most important thing is they have the strongest hero so far in the Sniper. So EHOME's last hero has to be really good against Sniper right here, because if they don't have it something that's really good against Sniper, the only thing they're really going to do is just push. I would say OD is looking really fantastic. Wow, not a pick I was expecting. That's a hero that's really good against Sniper. However, I don't know how good it is against Underlord, for example.
Yeah, and super out of the meta at the moment as well. I'm guessing we're probably looking at some kind of battle Spectre, right? This game maybe like
I don't know.
Like Vanguard Diffusal. I don't know. If you have a really good start and you get all the tier 1s, maybe a Radiance is still an option, but
yeah, at the very least, I would expect him to go something like the phase into drums, just to get the stats buffer, get some mana regen so you can spam out the dagger more, get your farm in, of course. There are some variations. Some people like Eternal Envy, for example, he would go the Hood of Defiance. Some people just go Aquila straight into Radiance. Some people just like to do the stats, as you said, with the SNY diffusal kind of thing.
Yeah.
There again, like a lot of options, but it really comes down to like the laning phase. I think if they can find a way to really bully the Underlord, which I'm not sure if a Spectre can do reliably, then maybe it's good. But only time will tell with this one.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It is sort of one of your classic Sniper counters. Sort of find him and kill him off. I feel like there are sort of two Sniper builds, and I think maybe the Spectre is gonna force the situation here a little bit. There's the plan on never getting caught Sniper, which is where you're just building up damage. You kind of take maybe you buy some phase, you get a Maelstrom, you're just sitting back and you're relying on never getting caught. If you get caught once, you're dead. And then you also see kind of I would call it the no one school of Sniper, where you buy treads and you actually tank up and you get your BKB, and then if they go on you in a fight, well, you just pop BKB and you right-click them. So I think Sniper can kind of play against Spectre in the right situation, but there's lots of different things that could happen for both of these two heroes with their builds and how they interact in this game. So it should be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I'll be honest, like straight up, like head-to-head, the Spectre is very good at isolating Sniper, because also keep in mind, like this hero is always going to be alone just due to his nature. Like long range and stuff like that, and Deathblade just gonna shred him up. But at the same time, there is some good supporting cast on Newbee, right? It's not like the Underlord's gonna have some items. Tiny's gonna be able to blink in and toss targets. There's a lot of things that the Spectre will have to watch out for. It's not just simple hunt, click, dead Sniper. So we'll see how the Chen plays out here. They're actually doing the aggro dueling with the Chen, which is pretty much how every carry plus Chen is played right now. Again, like Spectre being that carry, I've never seen this before in the offlane with the Chen.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. EHOME will have to have a lot of attention on this lane, right? They can't really afford to leave the Spectre alone at all. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Yeah.
The other thing is now, because of this Pugna pick versus the Underlord, they're going to have this matchup 1v1, and I feel like Underlord is going to destroy this matchup with his superior base damage. He's going to get the Atrophy Aura, and then he's going to just have like 40 damage on the Pugna.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes, because past the laning phase, I feel like Pugna is decent against the Underlord, right? You got good magical burst, but the laning stage,
it definitely is.
Solo Underlord, very scary. Earth Spirit, we're going to trade some hits here. He's going to be sent back by the Chen, doing everything that he can just to get some damage out. But bottom lane's already getting shoved in towards the tower. This is kind of the beauty of the Tiny. Well, also, they've sent those creeps back nonstop, so they're stuck under their tower.
The reason why the carries like to play is entirely because of this ability. Like he just sends these creeps back, and the carry always gets like a 2 guaranteed creep wave, and then you can kind of deal with it afterwards by bringing a creep into the lane and harassing them.
Yeah, it's really nice that Chen kind of has a way to delay things a little bit until he can actually get his first creep. Death Prophet's under the tower here. SCCC just giving him the headshot procs, but taking some damage. He can't really afford to auto attack him though, otherwise he's going to aggro the tower. I don't even know if that really worked out that well for the Death Prophet in that situation.
No, he's gonna be pressed to go back here with low HP. And does he have a solve coming on the core? He has tangles. That play was not worth it at all. I don't know. He didn't do anything to the Sniper there. Yeah. Actually, he did. The Sniper missed a lot of CS under the tower. I just realized, but I'm not sure if that's a product of that play.
Yeah, I think it was partially. The creep wave built up a little bit, though, so I think it was... He was mostly CSing after the Death Prophet was already gone. HYM's lurking around mid lane. Kaka's keeping tabs on him. He got run at a little bit earlier by the Hellbear Smasher, which is actually going to get brought down here. Face securing that last hit for himself and Innocence. A little bit unlucky, finds the Centaur now. Up top, KP getting decrept somewhat, but like you're saying, doing just fine in terms of the CS. 2 points in the Atrophy Aura, actually early on for him.
Yeah,
why not?
He's gonna start taking over this lane. I really don't think Pugna is one of the heroes that can stand against the Underlord and shove him out. In the meantime, at mid, if you notice SEC's skill build, he's going the anti-Death Prophet build.
Yeah. 2 points up in the take game, hanging back. Death Prophet's doing her best to kind of keep draining health and keep the pressure on, but... And is putting quite a lot of pressure on SCCC's CS so far.
Yep.
They want Faith. Stomp is not going to connect. They're coming in with the dagger. They've also got the roll, but Kaka opening space with Fisher. And they might actually be able to go for HYM somewhat. Faith still got the shackle bolt. Like he's just going to get right-click down, and Innocence draws your first blood. And EHOME kind of getting what they were hoping for down here at bottom lane.
Yeah. So this is honestly the biggest reason why I don't like this Earthshaker. Yeah, he has like almost no lane presence whatsoever, right? If you see him, all he's doing is just after he drops a Fisher, he just comes in with a couple right clicks, and he doesn't have an Orb of Venom. It's just not enough, you know. So this roster is going to constantly get bullied, especially now they have
Innocence
a
gonna get caught out here. Newbee's just going to finish him with the tree toss. And I said that they were getting what they wanted down here at bottom, but CTY's CS is actually not looking all that hot either.
Yeah, you can't lane against a Tiny with a Spectre. I'm pretty sure this is just a very big mismatch. Innocence also, he picked up the Satyr, but he died for it. And obviously that's not really worth giving the Tiny a free kill, because they can't pressure him now, right? Like a Spectre and a Creep, like how is that going to pressure a Tiny?
Death Prophet getting pretty aggro on SCCC mid, does take a tower shot. But yeah, they can't seem to do anything about Mugi at all. More harassment on the spec. Kaka's coming in from the side, will get driven away by Innocence. But Avalanche coming in. Mugi, is this just going to be a straight up kill for him? CTY on the run, pops the salve now. Is that going to be cancelled by Mugi? It looks like it might be. No, CTY jukes it out successfully. At the same time, SCCC does actually die over at mid. Looks like nice roll in from the Earth Spirit, just barely surviving those last couple of tower shots.
Yeah, SEC was playing that really cocky. He was actually like 30% HP the whole time, so it was just a very simple roll in. I don't even think there was a Spirit Siphon, just a roll in and some right clicks with the Siphon.
You don't want to run up that hill. He's in some trouble, slowed down a lot. Mugi will come in trying to help, body blocking a little bit, but that's all he can really do.
If you see Kaka, he's just bouncing back and forth. You see how he's like kind of lost into like regarding where he wants to be.
Yeah, this is not great. Normally, I see Kaka when they pick the Shaker, they can they get a Fisher block off, and then they can at least get 1 or 2 kills in the early game. But
yeah, usually it's mid though, right? Usually you want to block off the mid hill, something like that. Have the sniper drop like a double shrapnel and right click the DP down together. But DP with the Spirit Siphon, it's very hard to do that against that hero.
Mugi get rolled on here. They're gonna try for the counter initiate. Fisher doing decent work. Mugi still has the avalanche damage onto HYM. He gets right click down, and now C2I also getting shackled up, tossed into the air. Innocence, can he even finish this kill? There's no mana left on the Satyr. He will be able to get the stomp down onto Kaka. One more auto attack's gonna do it, but 2 for 1 trade and Spectre dying at bottom. That is something that Newbee will take any day of the week.
That's a TI winning micro right there. That was beautiful. Wings Innocence, man, the god.
Yeah, he's doing everything that he can, but it's not amounting to that much down here, unfortunately. Mugi, everybody on Newbee just keeps running up this hill. I don't really know what they're thinking, or if they're thinking they are going to get a shackle out. Looks like Mugi might survive. He's got a salve and some stick charges. He'll be okay. And at the same time, Sniper dies mid. Again, I got to be keeping more eyes on this Earth Spirit. He's just diving SCCC, killing him off. Yeah.
The only lane that is not going to have too much kill potential is pretty much top lane. And as you can see, like KPI is already he's doubling Fate's CS. Yeah. So this matchup, honestly, like I don't know, man. It's a big sacrifice to send the Pugna up here because Pugna's a very time-based hero. You actually want him in a scenario where you can
shackle. Kaka running up, drops the Fisher, keeping the creeps away. Now they've got the toss. The chain stun from Newbee is unreal, and that will be an easy kill on the C2I spec. But yeah, like you were saying, the Underlord is doing amazingly. KP's even dragging the creep wave into the neutrals. Max efficiency mode for him. Well, rotation from Death Prophet finds the kill on the Shadow Shaman. They're locking down Mugi as well. He's going to try for the TP out, and he's fine. Nicely done. This is an exorcism.
Oh man. Yeah, still a lot of pressure, even though the Spectre is getting nothing. But See, this is where I still wonder, like, they just picked a different hero, had Pugna here at the bottom lane instead of the Spectre, and they had a different hero on the safe lane going up against Underlord. Like, I just feel like the scenario would have been that much better. In the meantime, however, you can see SCC is really, really struggling, right? He's getting doubled up by the DP as well. And this matchup, it's like, the Sniper can die pretty easily, even though the Sniper can get ganks for him really easily as well. So, pretty dynamic.
Yeah, and looks like they will get this tier 1 tower down bottom. Successfully get that early cash flow going in. Nobody gets the last hit, unfortunately, but still, this DP is filthy rich. Kaka's already heading into the jungle a little bit, and like you're saying, not a ton that he can do on the Shaker at the moment. Well, why do you think they picked the Shaker this game?
Honestly, man, I think they just saw it as like
he's got the drain, but Mugi comes around the corner, interrupting it. Faith Beyond's still pretty fast though. It's locked down by the root. 2 points up in the toss. Right click him a little bit. Unexpected rotation from the Tiny, but finds a great kill. And over at mid, they're looking for the Shaker. Looks like they should be able to dive him down. Killing spree for the Death Prophet. SCCC does all that he can with the right clicks, but that's about it.
Yeah. So I honestly think it's basically an Earth Spirit deterrent in the sense that if the Earth Shaker is like camping the Sniper at mid, this Earth Spirit can never really roll in. Problem is, the presence with the Chen is too much, and speaking of Chen...
Yeah, Faith gonna get kicked back. Actually might get this kill on the Earth Spirit. They tried to send him home, but he actually grabs it, and now Faith... Can he survive? He's got 10 wand charges! Chen's tanking the tower now. Innocence will survive, but... Alright, nicely played by Faith, getting that shackle off. Finds him the kill.
They screwed that up. Yeah, they messed that up, because what him should have done is he should just drop the rock and kicked him to stun.
Yeah, exactly.
But instead he kicked him back and didn't interrupt the channeling on the shackle. So that was a silly play, or rather it ended up looking silly.
Okay, good. Chilling out up here at top. They want this Faith Beyond kill, but Earth Spirits come TP'd in, not on the right side of the Fissure. And Mugi just gonna retreat.
Yeah, do you see his skill build?
He's maxed the, well, mostly maxed the Tristas this game.
Exactly. My brothers, this is the way. So good. Maxing tree toss is so good.
Increases your farm by a lot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, it's like, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, this hero is picked for that laning presence. So why not just double down on it and then get that exponential amount of EXP and farm? Eventually, you're going to still have the avalanche toss combo anyway from your laning advantage. Right? You're going to be able to kill heroes, have like a level or 2 advantage. Plus, it still does similar amounts of damage and lane pressure as well. Like, you get more damage out of the toss, you can use it more, so chances are you're going to be harassing more. There's a lot of pluses to doing this build.
Alright, we got another Exorcism ready for the EHOME side. They've smoked up, heading down towards bottom. They want KP if they can get him. He does have the Dark Rift, he's relatively tanky, Hood of Defiance. Coming off cooldown kind of soon. What creeps do they actually have? 2 Centaurs. No point in the silence from the DP. They're going to go for it. KP, can he make his way out of this? He's going to try. I don't think he's survivable enough. No way.
Yeah.
The Exorcism is way too much damage. And Innocence with those 2 points up in the penitence. Easy kill.
He's actually playing it correctly though. In theory, what he should be doing is playing that deep, right? Again, like look at the Exorcism where it's popped. Half the duration's over, they haven't even reached the tier 2. So in terms of philosophy, it's the correct move. But you kind of wish he Dark Rifted a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it took him a second. I think he probably would have still gone dead anyway, right? It's 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Got a jump on the Sniper at mid lane. They're going to pop the Haunt for that. They don't even need it. It's just HRM and Faith Beyond. Grabbing that kill, nice and easy. CTY wanted to get involved, but couldn't really make it happen.
Oh man, that Sniper hero. If you don't protect that hero, he will die every single time. Unless he's like holding high ground. It's outside the base. So this hero really needs to play with the lane advantage. And unfortunately, he just didn't get it this game.
Cock up. Got a TP out right this second, buddy. Gonna go for the Fissure. Keeps on running, but looks like he's just gonna get drained down. Can they give this kill to the Spectre? Would be nice, but nope. Unfortunately, it's gonna end up being grabbed. And now the SCCC coming in with the TP. Is this enough damage? No, Hand of God comes in. I don't think it would have been enough even without the Hand of God. And more EHOME heroes on their way down. Faith Beyond and HYM are gonna come running into Mugi over here. Newbee very much wanting to defend this bottom tier 2 tower, it looks like. But they have to be careful. They get the slowdown onto the Tiny. He throws out the Avalanche, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. He's still running for it. He's going to get caught by the rolling boulder. Kaka coming in with the Fissure, turning things around a little bit. Earth Spirit still surviving. He will get finished by the Assassinate, so 1 for 1, but losing the Tiny, the #1 net worth hero on the Newbee side, that definitely stings.
Man, EHOME are playing this so well, though. You see how, like, they're not giving them any chance to breathe, and finally, after heroes have died, Newbee can drop the Rasta wards on the mid tower and apply some pressure on their own, but they've just been so relentless at this bottom lane.
Is this fast enough for EHOME? Like, do you feel like do they have a chance in the late game, or is this very much they have to win?
They do entirely because of that Spectre pick. Keep in mind, it was the last pick of the game, and it was pretty much the ultimate counter to the strong heroes of Newbee. Because Tiny and Sniper do not scale into Spectre, that's for sure, right? But at the same time, they do have a degree of sense of urgency. Like they do want to take these tier 2s down and then like maintain map control. Because the way the Spectre really finds farm is that the other players are making a lot of space and forcing heroes to show. If this Tiny gets a free Shadow Blade, for example, and just starts running at the Spectre, it's going to be pretty tough to get free farm. As I say that, he's actually building SNY.
Yeah, I just clicked on him. I was about to ask. No Blink, no Shadow Blade, just kind of tanking up, more farm-centric, carry-centric kind of item. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this, really. Because
I'm not. It's actually destroying their timing. Because basically what happens is SCC is pretty much a no factor at this point, right? Like, this is a sniper. He's never going to cross the river. He'll die every time. He has to play in the safe parts of the map. So somebody has to go out there and make space and get some vision. And none of the other heroes on Newbee want to do that, right? They have a 4-position Earthshaker who can't really run into the Chen. They have a Rasta that's gonna die every time. The only real hero that can do it is Underlord, and he's just silly, running down lanes on the side lanes here, which is what he's supposed to do. But he has no team to take advantage of his farm, no team to play around. So all of his net worth, it's kind of getting negated to an extent.
Yeah, and he's got no kill pressure either, right?
Exactly.
KP, maybe he's not dying and he's pushing out the lanes, but it's not like anybody on EHOME has to really be afraid.
Exactly, they're not scared of him, you know what I mean? He's not shoving anybody out, he's just shoving creeps out. So, as we can see now, Spectre, with the ping-pong effect of the creep wave from the Underlord, gets his free farm under the tier 2.
Yeah, gotta get this CS, but CTY... I jinxed him, dude.
You're watching that. Yeah, dude, he heard. He's like, hey, stop watching me, bro.
Yeah, I got it. Alright, we do have the Master Serpent Woods dropped again on the mid lane. Pretty expensive from Newbee. They've got all 5 heroes here. KP watching over the front line. They do have the DP TPing in. Initiation from the EHOME side isn't amazing either, so there's lots of just staring at each other. They do have the Earth Spirit coming over now. They're looking for Faith Beyond. Can they lock him down? The Fissure following it up. They get the toss back onto the Pugna, right into the middle of the Newbee lineup. Can they burst him down? The Silence coming in, actually. Gonna prevent Newbee from doing too much there, and they lose the Tiny in the midst of all of that. Faith Beyond was completely surrounded, but the Geomagnetic Grip from Earth Spirit doing good work.
And finally, Mugi has recognized, and I think he's heard the call. He's going Shadow Blade. He understands and recognizes that the team definitely needs to be able to walk out into the fog of the map. As it stands, they took 2 roster wars just to take down this tier 1 mid, and they're smoking together as 4 right now to time it with the Tiny respawn. Another smoke, if they go into their jungle, what are they really gonna get, right? If EHOME decide to defend their bottom tower, even without the Haunt and Haunt as well as the Exorcism, they'll save it.
They want Faith Beyond.
Pugna will die though.
Come running into him, and alright, Pugna's dead. He evaded death on the mid lane. He has to pay it back this time around. But pretty
but this
heavy
smoke,
rotation.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if this is worth it, because they have to rotate heroes back to defend this tier 1. It can't just be the Underlord this time. He will die if they decide to send multiple heroes, so can't push the bottom tier 1 as a result of this kill either, which means that the kill, again, it's just a kill. It doesn't really get anything out of it. TTY has actually opted for the hood, if you see. So.
Mugi in some trouble, does have the Shadow Amulet, and that's going to be all that he needs to survive this time around. Cores are not carrying detection, at least not yet, but they know what his plan is at this point, so probably start seeing some sentries and some dust being picked up over on the EHOME side. Newbee, I mean, even though they don't necessarily have the heroes for it, they're still looking to be somewhat aggressive. They come and get some wards down, and they actually head into the Roshan pit.
This is a good play. I'm a really big fan of this, because they recognize that Haunt as well as Exorcism are still down, and this is just the abusing of the timings.
Yeah, this is probably unexpected for EHOME, right?
Yeah, very good.
We'll be able to get this Aegis up on... Who do you like it more on here, Mugi or SCC? I guess Mugi.
I like it on Mugi. I think SCC is pretty useless with it. Yeah.
If he dies with it once, he's gonna die with it again. He's gonna die again, right?
Yeah, because they're gonna be on top of him, right?
Yeah.
And chances are, if he dies, during the duration that he's down for 5 seconds, Mugi or some of the other supporting cast will die, and there's no more fight to be had. There's so much AoE on the side of EHOME.
EHOME, I mean, they get somewhat of a trade out of this. They are going to be able to push down this bottom tier 2, it looks like. Newbee, they got the Shadow Blade Mugi coming forward. Kaka's still just trying to find farm over at top. He'll be coming in at the last possible moment. Now TPing in onto the tier 3, but looks like the Catapult and the Creeps will be able to finish this one. Faith looking for the lockdown onto Innocence. Needs to be careful. HYM Hits him with the Boulder Smash, but EHOME, content that they've gotten the objective, they are just going to back themselves away and know that this is more farm for their Spectre to be... well, this is more time for the Spectre to be farming over on the other side of the map.
Oh, this is panning out to be quite an interesting game. I think the laning phase went as predicted. However, some of these moves that are being made, they're pretty quick on the side of Newbee. Unfortunately, like some of the smokes haven't been able to translate into towers all that easily. But at the same time, EHOME, not only are they keeping up in net worth, they also have some big advantages, especially from the mid lane that I wasn't expecting either.
Doesn't get the full combo onto Faithbeyond. Can he finish him? No, won't be able to. And now Faithbeyond turns around. Mugi's going to be alright as well, it looks like. Just a little bit of an awkward engagement. Pugna getting ahead of him. I mean, doubling the avalanche damage wouldn't have done that much. They're going to go on the sniper over at mid lane. HYM jumping in onto him. It looks like he's just already dead. Newbee even going to cancel those TPs. Know that they have no chance of saving the sniper inside this level 2 exorcism. They get a trade. Innocence dies at bottom.
Yeah, but overall, this is still a huge win for Dire, because what happens is you're going to be able to defend this tower for sure. Exorcism may be down, but they got a huge kill in Sniper, and they also have the Spectre that can haunt into the fight. Technically, this is still a power play for them. If they choose to defend the tower, which I think they should, they will definitely hold that. But maybe they just have Spectre pushing out top, I'm not sure.
Yes. They do have the TP coming in from the Earth Spirit. Pretty decent spam. Faith Beyond does need to be somewhat careful, but not like the time you can jump instantly.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Mugi's kind of low here. Still has that Aegis. They're fighting around their wards nicely, but EHOME bringing in even more heroes. Gonna steal up some Radiant creeps. Still taking damage little by little on this tier 1. Kaka's come down here. He's actually got a Blink Dagger now on the Shaker. I think this may have been spotted by EHOME, but they do need to be careful about how they go. Boulder Smash is going to connect, and Tiny almost losing his Aegis. Mugi not dead quite yet. Kaka looking for it, but does see that that Nether Ward is down and doesn't want to jump in too aggressively. His team can't really back him up either. So yeah. Successful hold from EHOME and more farm for this CTY Spectre.
Exactly. All the meanwhile, you know, CTY was basically free farming and pressuring the other side of the map. So although he wasn't able to get any real tower damage, he still brought himself to the second most farmed hero on the net worth leaderboard, and he's very happy with that as a Spectre at 20 minutes into the game. Yep. Because once he gets this Radiance, the splash impact will be huge.
Yeah, he's not even farming that quickly at the moment, right? In terms of he's got a little bit of speed up from the Desolate. You clear the camp in the right way. He's spamming the dagger around the place while ferrying clarities. But as soon as he gets that Radiance online, that's when the real farm acceleration begins.
Oh yeah. I will be honest though. I think he's actually farming really well this game overall. Just given the you know, farm is like a lot relative to like context as well as what kind of lane you started with. And he basically had no lane, right? Because all the aggression that they were putting out at bottom lane was entirely in the form of Chen and Earth Spirit rotations. And every time they went on a target, Spectre pretty much died, right?
They want the Spectre kill. They scanned him. They have a sense that CTY is somewhere in the area, and Kaka is just he's itching to use this blink. They're actually going to be able to jump onto KP at bottom. Looks like probably not enough burst damage to bring him down in time before the Dark Rift goes off. He's created some space. He's seen 4 heroes at bottom, so Newbee are going to threaten this mid tower a little bit, but SCCC still has to be careful. And yeah, he's not going to stick around there too much longer. Mugi does actually have a double damage. He's hunting for a freebie. Who's he going to go for? Wants CTY. They're also going to hex up onto Innocence. He won't be able to get the send back. They drop the Echo Slam. Do they have enough damage? Fisher also there to follow it up. They lose the Spectre. They lose the Chen. Newbee, big rotation from them to claim this high ground. They even dropped the Mass Serpent Wards to kill the Chen off. But
yeah. No, that was a very necessary play out of them. The double damage, I think, inspired them to go for the Spectre right away as well. And if you noticed, Kaka expended the Echo Slam. It's a solo Echo Slam, so it actually does like no damage. Yeah. But they realized the value and the importance of getting that Spectre kill there. He's been farming without disturbance for such a long time.
They had to chainstun both of those heroes as well, because Spectre didn't get the Hood of Defiance off. If Chen had been able to pop the Hand of God, or get the send back, that was so well executed by Newbee.
Yeah. Once again, Newbee, you know, being a fast team, if you see their wards, every single game they have these wards past the river in some of the lanes or some of the jungles where they can play with these aggressive heroes. So team definitely just wants to run at you for the majority of the game. And if you notice Mugi's build too, he's actually adding on to his burst by going on the Echo Saber build as well.
Yeah, just kind of keep that burst relevant. Probably goes into a Silver Edge later on against the Spectre. Always going to be nice to have. But EHOME also looking to fire back somewhat. Smoking out. HYM doesn't quite have his Blink Dagger just yet. I don't know where Kaka managed to scrounge together the farm for his Blink. honestly. I mean, I saw him over at top a little bit and whatnot, but has done pretty nicely, all things considered.
Oh yeah. Haka, you know that boy, he's a beast.
Yeah.
Always gets his farm, always finds a way to have impact. Definitely a very strong captain and player.
Mugi shoving lanes bottom, KP shoving lanes mid. SCCC trying to catch a little bit of farm here and there in the interim. C2I almost has that Radiance, so that's going to be a pretty big timing for them. I mean, not only like we were talking about earlier, it's going to speed up his farm, but also maybe gives them a little bit more of an opportunity to take a fight. This Death Prophet is very scary.
Yes.
DP with the BKB picked up, so he's definitely eager to go and make something happen with the team, but it's just a question of whether the rest of the team is ready to back him up.
Right, right. It's also a question of whether she gets the BKB off or not. If they decide to initiate on her and pop her, like, that's the fight. But at the same time, it's very hard to do that given the spells that are available on the side of EHOME in terms of saves, stuns, whatever. And it's also like the DP is pretty tanky herself now, right? Sitting at 1800 life points, it's nothing to scoff at. So she will definitely not die if she gets the BKB off. Not against the lineup of Newbee, not against the farm of Sniper. At the same time, Newbee, they do have a lot of burst if they get the initiation.
Yeah, this is like the maximum tanky build as well, right? You go for treads. He's picked up the 12% magic resist talent. I think showing some respect to the kind of the tiny and the shaker, right? Knowing that there is that potential that you could just get full to nothing to give your team the best opportunity to be able to counter initiate for you.
Yeah, yeah. I think most DP players actually go for that option. This game in particular, right? Because you're facing nothing but magical burst really, and a sniper.
Yeah. Master Serpent Woods dropped bottom. Newbee gonna find the trade, tier 1 for tier 1. Now looking towards the tier 2. What are EHOME gonna do? This is a pretty big decision that they have to make. They don't want to use the Exorcism necessarily just for buildings, but they're already losing their tier 2 quickly. What is the play gonna end up being? Mugi spotting out C2I over at mid. He's almost got his Radiance, just needs a couple more CS. They're still pushing up top. Kaka comes jumping in here. Actually going to get caught by the Yules, not blinking far enough back. KP will he be able to save him? They've got the Glimmer Cape. Exorcism now going to get popped along with the BKB, but Newbee, if they only lose Kaka for that, it might be alright. He drops the Echo Slam down. He's actually being saved by the Decrepify. The Exorcism not doing any damage. And now the Death Prophet out of the BKB might actually be in a little bit of trouble. They do have that Haunt ready to go, though, and that's what EHOME kind of playing around, hoping to bait Newbee outside of the base, and Faith actually... gonna come forward, but maybe it's a bait the other way. Mugi trying to burst the DP. She does manage to get the Yules off. Exorcism's gonna be coming back soon. That'll heal her back up, and now the Tiny's in trouble. Nice two-man boulder smash from EHOME, along with the silence. Spectre comes in to clean up, and EHOME got exactly what they wanted. We'll get those kills, though. At the very least, Newbee managing to hold their high ground. That was awkward.
Yeah, this is more in hindsight as well, but the more I think about it, the more I realize the Spectre pick's actually godly. Because what happens is, Newbee's lineup, especially with the... I mean, I mainly blame the Earthshaker pick. I really don't think the hero was good here, but what happens is they were so focused on defending this high ground that they alleviated a lot of their potential pressure. And Mugi had a pretty good start, but it wasn't good enough because he was, one, unable to hold his tower, and two, as a result, had to rotate. And when your Tiny starts rotating, instead of getting free farm, his Shadow Blade gets delayed by 2, 3, 4 minutes, which that was the case here after a couple deaths. And all of a sudden, you miss a lot of timings to salvage your mid laner's game. And I think that's exactly what happened. So with the Sniper, he's adding on to a BKB to his repertoire. That's merely going to delay the inevitable, in my opinion. Because he's not the hero that's going to walk out into the fog and pressure this Spectre from farming, right? He's still going to be that hero that's sitting back, waiting for the Spectre to engage and possibly kill a teammate or two of his with the Haunt, the Radiance. So this is scary for Newbee.
Yeah. Doing everything that they can to keep themselves in the game, keep on getting farm. They are going to be going for the Roshan again. Their high ground is still very strong. Like we've been saying, that's really what they prioritize in this draft. So whether they're going to be able to deal with a 6-slotted Spectre is kind of now the question. They do give the Aegis over to the Tiny. They got a cheese for the Sniper. So... I don't know. I guess we have to start sizing up some of the other late game factors for Newbee. The Shadow Shaman is actually a pretty monstrous hero once you get late enough, but I mean he is position 5, so it's gonna take Faith a while.
It's gonna be hard.
Oh, they're jumping in here in the mid lane, double stun. SCCC gonna pop that BKB, turns around. They do get the Pit of Malice out onto a couple. Earth Spirit taking big damage. Death Prophet just gonna pop everything that she's got and run after Kaka, prevent him from doing any damage in this fight. Gonna Yules him up, but the DP spending a lot of time just for the Shaker kill. He's gonna try for the TP out. I don't know if it's gonna be in time. He gets bursted. They lose both supports. Everybody on EHOME now arriving to the fight. And they should now be able to continue pushing down this mid lane a little bit, though Exorcism runs out once again.
Oh, and I didn't realize, but the Innocents actually picked up a Midas in anticipation of all the things that are happening as is.
Yeah.
You're gonna just sit outside outside the high ground, take all the towers, which they did, except, I mean, barring the mid one, I suppose. And they're gonna constantly pressure the map. In hindsight as well, if you think about how Newbee snuck into Roches, it was really nice, especially the first one. But it just doesn't matter, right? Because what happens is with this Aegis, you want to have a timing to either push towers or end the game. Like, Aegis is a game-ending mechanic in most game scenarios, especially second and third one. You just can't at this point, right? We talked about Newbee's high ground being strong, but if you can't kill the enemy's strongest hero in the sniper, maybe that's all you need.
Yeah, and EHOME's high ground is, you know, they're no slouch either when it comes to the high ground defense. They're pushing out.
Sorry, I said sniper. I meant to say Spectre.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this game actually develops. I thought with the way that the draft's opened, we were going to be looking at something relatively fast. Maybe not the case. Newbee, aggressive as always, smoking their way out, looking for something. They are going to try and jump on Innocence. They don't want to use the Echo Slam for this, and they won't need to. They lock him down, but EHOME, alright, not really in a position to try and fight. They don't want to do anything too rash while the Exorcism is on cooldown, so they are going to let Newbee come and do their thing here. But Faith Beyond is pressuring at bottom. He's going for a Dagon on this Pugna, in fact.
Good build. I think all he has to do is just some burst damage, knock out like a Rasta or Earthshaker in the fight, and it'll just become that much easier.
Newbee going high ground. They're going to jump in on top of the Earth Spirit. That could be trouble. Faith is actually also getting jumped by the Chen creeps. HYM able to keep himself alive, rolling back. Underlord's going to arrive. They drop down the Mass Serpent Wards. They're really itching to try and take this tier 3. I don't know if they're going to be able to get too much more. Death Prophet still 20 seconds to go on the Exorcism. SCCC sitting behind the wall that's represented by his team. And they will force out that glyph. Netherward's up on the high ground. They've also got vision of their own Newbee inside of the enemy base. HOM trying for the catch. Won't really be able to find anything. The initiation isn't there. They've still got the Haunt ready to go as well. They're just waiting for this Exorcism to be ready. They don't have a Blink Dagger just yet either on the DP, but the Shivas might be enough to hold them here. Underlord does have another Force Staff. KP getting caught out. If they can just kite this fight, they might be able to do something. The Haunt also coming in. They're all getting trapped inside the silence. BKB popped from SCCC. He's trying to run out of this. He's still got the cheese. CTY now looking to run down Faith. They will lose the Aegis, and Newbee are just scattered to the winds. Nubee's going to be coming back, but looks like he'll be brought down once again. EHOME camping that out. And we'll finish him. Newbee, though, taking the fight on the dire side of the map does mean that looks like they won't lose too much on the swing back.
Right. But at the same time, you know, if they can't kill Spectre, it's still a concern because the Spectre is very content with just farming at any part of the map, whether it's her safe side or like aggressively in the enemy side. And you see SCC's farm, right? He's got the highest net worth in the game. It's partly due to the cheese in his inventory, but he's still just as farmed as the Spectre. But when Spectre pops Haunt, decides to dagger him up and just right-click him down, CC pops BKB and he has to do only one thing. He runs. You know, you can actually not sit there and fight the Spectre at all. So we've definitely got a scaling issue of concern. I've been saying it a little while for an extended period of time now, but if Newbee can't find a way to end this game within the next 5 minutes, it's going to have to go like deep late game for them to have a chance again, because otherwise Spectre is just going to have free reign in like the next 20.
Spectre's about to hit that really scary
critical
point,
mass,
right? Yeah, gonna get some more items. You're gonna get your level 20 talent, picking up some more HP, just becoming
that's the big that's the deal breaker. If you remember, like there was a period of time where this hero was picked like every game, and then they nerfed Haunt multiple times just because of it. It was because of the introduction of this talent, like these talents. Her talents are so good.
Yeah.
Oh, and
back when it was
Envy.
plus HP and then plus strength as well. Oh my god.
Yes.
You just had an ungodly like 4k hit points. Spectre just couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. Radiance, and then the game is just over once Spectre gets a couple more levels. We got Eternal Envy Spectre here though. He's got the bottle passed on to him from Faith Beyond. Everybody does this now, you know, they bottle up the nice big rune.
Up onto the high ground. They've disabled the backdoor protection through mid. Exorcism still on cooldown for 20 seconds. They want this Rax. They're getting a little bit desperate. SCCC now arriving as well. The glyph on cooldown for now. Newbee, they want this lane so badly. SCCC's focusing on it, and they won't be able to stop him. Very nice smoke play from Newbee as they will claim the melee barracks, but it's just the one lane so far. CTY's farming down here. There's going to be a Dark Rift coming over to say hello, and this is all of Newbee's lineup just around the corner. They actually scan him out. CTY's on the run. Don't stop the farm. Don't stop the farm. CTY, keep on running. He pops the Haunt, in fact.
Oh, what a god.
Keep on running. He manages to keep on Manta dodging. He's running for it, and looks like he's out of there. Cost him the Well, kind of cost him the haunt, I suppose. But he survived.
Yeah. I'll be honest, EHOME are playing this a little too safe. They don't have to be this dodgy. Like, even the top fight, even though they didn't have Exorcism, this DP can literally BKB, run in for Shivas, just get some presence in the fight. As soon as Newbee starts scattering, you can actually haunt in with the Spectre and kill 2 heroes with that double damage. I'm honestly a little shocked that they didn't go for it, but at the same time, like, that Rax doesn't matter, right? Again, Newbee's biggest issue right now is whether they can end the game in the next 5 minutes against this EHOME team or not.
So do you think the mantra at the moment for EHOME is that they just feel like they win late game, and so they're not feeling that rushed to do anything? Like, they don't want to take any risky fights because they feel like, all right, our Spectre is kind of a guaranteed win.
Yeah, more than winning late game, I would say they're just waiting for Roshan. Because what happens is when Rosh spawns, they're gonna fight for it. It's either EHOME walking in, Newbee walking in, or both teams fighting for it. And I think EHOME will vastly come out ahead on that exchange.
Yeah, the third Rosh is way too valuable for them. Yeah. Right, getting either a refresher shard on, well, I think especially on the Death Prophet. You probably just give it to DP, and at that point, you do kind of solve the issue that they've been having, where they use the Exorcism to win the fight, but then don't have it to push the buildings. So if you got 2 Exorcisms, I think that solves that problem.
Yeah, I think the refresher is actually a big bonus. I just look at it as Spectre just being already hard enough to kill, and a double life
That's
Spectre
true.
is pretty much going to be like,
yeah, Aegis and Chi Spectre is very scary.
Yeah.
Alright, well, Spectre does have the Manta, another 2.9k gold. Are we just looking at Heart next? Scotty? What do you think?
Honestly, this game, I think he should go damage. I think he actually goes, I mean, he's got so much HP. I would say probably Butterfly or Scotty at this point.
Yep. Yeah, seems sensible. Looks like CTY hasn't decided just yet. 2.9k gold banked. Kaka's still been hunting around. He's picked up a Shadow, but where is this Earthshaker getting his farm from? I don't really know, but Kaka's doing a good job. Maybe he's just been sniping bounty runes around the place. Does need to be careful. Almost comes running into a dire sentry there. And we'll actually get scouted by the creep wave. C2I is just running at him, but no one really in the neighborhood to get the lockdown. No, as I say that, HOM's coming in. Kaka can't get the blink off. He's already used it. Shadow Blade, he's going to get dusted. Kicked off to the side. I don't quite know why. Kicks him towards Faith, who now comes in with the Glimmer Cape, and HOM looks like he's going to pay for this, perhaps. Does get shackled up. They've got the heal. They've lost the Chen on the other side. Newbee just get both supports. HOM, why?
Faith, yeah, where was the Dagon there, bro? When he decrepified the Earthshaker, I believe, he could have just Dagon instead of Life Drain. Probably would have died.
Yeah, he hasn't even gone for the Ags, right? So just use your Dagon.
I think he probably forgot about it, because not everybody just picks up a Dagon on a daily basis. Pretty sure that's the reason.
Yeah, or they thought he was just dead anyway, and then he kicked Kaka instead of the Rock, and...
That's true too, right? Yeah, I guess you weren't expecting him to get kicked away like that.
Yeah, that was very strange. I guess just the misclick, but at the same time, you don't have to click anywhere. You don't have to click anywhere near the enemy hero,
right?
To boulder smash. So I don't really know. Faith's just dropping Mass Serpent Wards to kill shrines. Why not secure some more map control? Newbee actually continuing to shove EHOME kind of back towards their base, and EHOME scratching their heads somewhat about how they're gonna lead off these fights. They do now have a blink on the Death Prophet, which I think has been a missing ingredient for them for a little bit.
Yes, it's a pretty critical item. You just want to get on top or in the middle of the fray. Just sap up as many heroes as you can. Just be a presence. Once again, like this game, DP is not the main carry. The Spectre is. So you just want to give spacing and vision. Provide presence.
This is the Roshan that you wanted them to contest, but
I can't believe this.
Newbee just gonna get it for free. Are EHOME just giving Newbee too much respect? They're giving them too much room to work with?
I think so, man. Like, actually just don't understand, because this sniper is still at that point where if the Spectre haunts in and mantas, the sniper will just have to run through the entire duration of the BKB. And you know what? Spectre's also going for a heart. So there's a lot of I can already sense a lot of fear, a lot of hesitation and reluctance playing into this lineup of newbies. Like they actually just gave up a ton to let Newbee crawl back into this game.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe it. Like I said, Newbee had about 5 minutes from that window where they started just pushing top relentlessly. It was pretty good. And then it's EHOME's time from that minute, like that point on towards like the 15-20 minutes passed. So up to like the 50-minute mark this game, it should have been EHOME's time. But now that they're playing with the power play on the Aegis as well as Cheese and Refresher Orb, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Definitely giving up way too much here.
This is weird. EHOME are like, oh, now they have the Aegis and Cheese. Let's go play on their side of the map. Like,
Yeah.
Why weren't you doing this before the Aegis was up or before Roshan respawned there? Okay, they kick SCC a little way away, but he gets the BKB off. They are going to jump in with the DP. Exorcism pops, all guns blaring, but Newbee just walk away. Death Prophet's being kited. HYM with the Boulder Smash will open up a little bit more space. Mugi continues pursuit. They pop the Haunt. Newbee should be able to disengage and kite once again. HYM is doing his best with the lockdown, but EHOME just can't really keep Newbee here. They're just playing together, all stacked up. CTY didn't even haunt in. He just...
Well, yeah, I'm so confused. There were so many low HP heroes. He literally just has to haunt in once, Manta, and haunt over to a different location. And that kind of presence alone will like, scatter Newbee because they realize that if they can't burst the Spectre, they have to run. I'm actually so surprised at these like sequences of events. Maybe because the DP couldn't re-engage after the BKB pop, but still, they're being way too conservative with this play right now. Way too conservative.
Yeah. I think the other thing that I'm noticing, right, is just the lack of lockdown from EHOME. You go on somebody on Newbee, and then there's like 3 Force Stabs and a Glimmer Cape, and they're just out of there. They really need to figure out a way once they initiate and once they're committed, because EHOME are the kind of lineup where if you commit, you have to commit hard. You've got ultra long cooldowns. Newbee, not really the same case. Faith, it does have the Refresher Shard. Doesn't have an Ags, but still double level 3 Mass Serpent Wards. Still gonna hurt.
Definitely gonna be good enough to siege this high ground. They'll take the Raxes alone, even if there's a fight going on. If they're not disturbed, like, they'll take the Raxes for sure.
Yeah. CTY stands as the Guardian. He does have his Haunt up in 30 seconds or so. SCC forward onto the high ground. They're getting damage onto the Spectre. Taking so much damage. Faith also going to lock him down. They're going to try with the Earth Spirit to save him. They do also get the send back. I don't know if the Earth Spirit really needed to come in like that. Faith getting right-click down. Death Prophet going to pop her BKB, but that's just the BKB to turn and run. BKB going to get popped from SCC as he looks towards Innocence up on the high ground. 2 more auto attacks are going to do it. He does manage to get the heal onto himself, but not enough. Inspector once again caught inside of the pit. Haunt in 5 seconds. Exorcism in 18. Newbee set their sights onto the tier 3 tower, and they will grab it. They want the sniper. He's still got the Aegis. Buyback from the Earth Spirit as CTY just runs forward, but the Force Stabs keeping Newbee pushing backwards. Spectre hexed up. Does need to be a little bit careful. CTY wants to reset and heal with the heart. But EHOME still can't quite get that catch.
And they should really go here. Even against the Aegis, like, Newbee's position is so deep. They definitely want to commit to this fight.
Yeah, okay, Exorcism's popped. They've got the Haunt. This has got to be the time. Faith is going to put down the Mass Serpent Wards. That might secure the tower while this is going on. Death Prophet goes in, but immediately gets nullified. Doesn't have the BKB, getting right-clicked as well. SCC is being somewhat focused. CTY finally jumping in, but he just can't seem to lock onto anyone. He finally gets Faith, but the Death Prophet just going to get right-clicked down. SCC finds that kill. He's now decrept. He's still got the Aegis. He might just stand here and fight this one out. He is, even in the face of the Spectre illusions. CTY goes up onto the high ground, finishes up the Serpent Wards, but the melee barracks is already taken, and Newbee just walk away. Oh man, Spectre just not really committing to that fight at all.
No, he really isn't. With 4k HP, he's actually not the one that's going in deep after spells have been used. He's way too reluctant, and at the same time, I can kind of understand because Earthshaker's saving his kit for the Spectre entirely as well, but at this point, you just gotta go in, you know? If you don't provide spacing for your DP who doesn't have BKB and is getting nullified, like, you're just gonna lose more heroes in the fight. And at the end of the day, no matter what hero you're playing, no matter how much farm you have, you cannot play 1v5 Dota.
Yeah, and they don't have those spells anymore. Spec, once again, caught in the pit, getting brought down by the Firestorm. CTY runs in on the front lines now, but he immediately gets hexed. He's gonna get chain stunned up. SCC pops the BKB, gonna keep on right-clicking. He does lose the Aegis. He needs to be a little bit careful, but he force-stabs himself in. Innocence will be saved by the Decrepify. SCC finds the double kill. Now he looks at Innocence. Can he find the triple? They get the Nullifier over onto the Spectre. She's stuck in the pit. I think this should be the end of CTY. He is still pretty tanky. They try for the send back, and they do get it. Spectre will be back to this fight before too long. Sniper trying to force staff himself out of there. Newbee still kiting pretty well. Can they keep the Sniper alive? Another force staff. Now the Pike. He turns around. Damage onto the Death Prophet. Faith has one last Shackle in reserve. They still have a little bit of mana left to give. KP with the Firestorm. Big damage onto both of the big cores. CTY just going to keep on running forward. Knows that he has to try and find the Sniper kill, but now there's the Glimmer Cape. Kaka doing his best to keep SCC alive. He doesn't have his Satanic for a little bit. He's just trying to lifesteal through. CTY should finally finish him. One more auto attack. No, the Hurricane Pike. They're kiting so perfectly. Newbee, they just can't let this sniper die. Finally, C2Y gets it. He retreats up onto the high ground, but KP finishes him with the Firestorm. Oh, and C2Y's done. He even has buyback and haunt, and he just calls GG because they're already mega creeped. Mugi was just hitting their bottom lane the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So we've been here for 3 games so far for Newbee, Biscuit, and I must say, man, Newbee, it just at one point in the game, they just start outplaying the enemy in terms of decisions. It just feels like they're just one step ahead, especially when it comes to Roshans. And I don't know, man, these teams are just crumbling at their aggression.
Yeah, the aggressive warding, the pickoffs, the smokes into the base, securing Rosh after Rosh after Rosh. EHOME just looked terrified. I don't know if they needed to buy like an Abyssal Blade on the Spectre instead of the Heart, and just, I mean, hindsight is 2020, but they seem to be having all these lockdown problems. But I don't know, the kiting from Newbee and the lack of lockdown from the EHOME side. I feel like we didn't even really see the impact of the Pugna that much. Right, he did plenty of damage, but kind of lost the lane, and then they didn't really utilize his strengths all that much through the mid game. It to me almost looked like EHOME just weren't quite even sure how their lineup matched up against Newbee's. And Newbee were just like, these are a bunch of heroes that we know how to play. We know how strong we are. And EHOME still just like looked a little bit lost, to be honest.
Definitely very surprised at the outcome here. And they had all the pieces to take over the game much faster. They should have been the ones that got Roshan with the Spectre as well as the Chen. But instead, they lost map control little by little. As soon as the Shadow Blade came in, and suddenly a couple smokes here and there from Newbee, you know, picking up a lot of kills, picking up a lot of towers, especially that bottom lane. Again, too much reluctance and hesitation on using their spells, I believe. They could have taken a lot more fights with the Spectre as well as the Death Prophet. That's how I feel.
Yeah, lots of times that those 2 big ults got popped, and then it didn't result in anything.
Anything,
really.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And I think Newbee playing pretty well around the cooldowns. I mean, that first Roshan that they grabbed was realizing, okay, we're keeping track of the Exorcism, we're keeping track of the Haunt. They're both really long cooldowns at this stage of the game. And they just kind of walked in there with a very underfarmed sniper, but they knew that they had the strength of the Underlord with the Firestorm. And I feel like that Roshan gold really helped kind of buoy them up through the early stages. That's probably even part of where Kaka managed to get all the farm that he had, right? He was farming a little bit. They managed to snag a couple of those tier 1s with the Mass Serpent wards, but then also that Roshan gold helping to keep the game kind of even. And after that point, Newbee made it look super easy. So I don't know. Anything obvious that you feel like EHOME need to change for game 2? Do you think they could have... They couldn't have continued down the all-in path this game, right? They couldn't have picked something else instead of the Spectre and just tried to win in like 20-25 minutes.
I actually think, in theory, Spectre was the best pick in hindsight, right? Because it got them to the point where they could lose the lane, but they still had enough space to farm on the map and then eventually become stronger. Yeah. My only fear, like, honestly, this game shouldn't be looked at too much beyond the picks, like beyond the plays rather, because they had the strategy, it was correct, they had the lead, and I feel like they really botched it. So honestly, just stick to the game plan. You know, if you have this ability to get these lane advantages, you know, with the Earth Spirit, Death Prophet, you can shove in the mid and destroy SCC. Go for it. If you can take the bottom towers the way you did and constantly play in the jungle and apply a lot of pressure, go for it. But just make sure that you're looking at the Roshan follow-up after, because that Aegis is going to be a critical factor in whether you can break high ground or not.
Yeah, EHOME, they hardly got to play on the Radiant side of the map at all, but that's what we've been seeing from Newbee out of all of these games. They are just so good at controlling the map, even without the best split pushing or lane shove heroes. They still just seem to manipulate the map in just the right way that they can slowly hedge in their opponents, find a bit more farm, get that one pick off, and go and win the game. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. We've still got one last game. Unfortunately, that now means EHOME are out. Losing this one, they had to 2-0 this series to move forward in the DPL, so they are now eliminated. Newbee, if they win the next game, they're going to claim the top spot in their group. So we still have more Dota coming up. Claire, you're going to stick it out for one more, still adjusting that schedule?
Oh, you already know.
Yeah,
Here
awesome.
to see it end.
All right, guys. We'll be back in a couple of minutes for Newbee versus EHOME Game 2. Catch you soon. All right, everyone, we're back for our last game of the day. It's DPL Top Season 5 or Season 1 2018. It's Group B, EHOME versus Newbee, and unfortunately, as we load into Game 2, we are going to find EHOME currently eliminated from DPL. Newbee, I misspoke. They can't take the #1 spot in the group. If they win this game, they'll be tied with IG Vitality at 7 points, but IG Vitality 2-0'd them in the head-to-head, so Newbee would end up being second overall, but still good, moves them forward in the bracket. And the other thing to mention for DPL is while the stakes are relatively low, the thing that really matters is that the top teams at the end of the tournament actually qualify through for the MDL major, so very important for some of these teams to keep on picking up points. Not so important for Newbee because they've already been directly invited to that event. But still, the point stands for all of the other teams as we move forward into the playoffs after the group stages wrap up. I'm Baseskip, great to be casting for you guys today, and joining me once again is Clairvoyance. Claire, how you doing?
Doing well.
Nice.
Something you said piqued my interest. So there's no stakes here for Newbee, or what's going on?
So for Newbee, they, as I understand it, right, they're already invited to the event that this event feeds into. So there's money on the line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's money on the line. But it matters. This game matters for them in terms of their spot in the next round in the playoffs because the group is seeded into the next round. It's like a little bit bubble race-esque. So
okay. So they're playing for seeding.
Yeah. They're playing for seeding.
And EHOME's playing for fun.
They're playing for pride, Claire.
Playing for fun.
You don't get 2-0'd. You know, you want to show.
No, of course not. Yeah, of course not. I mean, they're playing against Newbee. This is definitely some great practice, and I'm sure they're gonna pull out all the strats here. Innocence is drafting now, and as you said, man, it's not fun to get 2-0 no matter the circumstances.
Yeah, they're playing for morale as well, I guess is the big thing, especially after that previous game. All right, so we got the Death Prophet as the opener. Windrunner. Why?
All right, they're playing for fun. GG.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest, man. Like, this hero has some hidden potential. It's a very good dueler/trader in the offlane. Obviously, Windranger has received received a lot of buffs. But at the same time, you know, it's a hero that always has to show herself on the map at some point, has a stun that's kind of unreliable and can, you know, put her in some bad positions. Generally not a fan of the pick, but hey, man, Kunkka Windrunner, let's do it.
Yeah. If you want this hero, though, why take it now? That to me is the big thing, right? Windranger isn't even on the radar. Nobody is thinking to themselves
Baseskip, come on, man, come on, bro. You don't know that. You don't know if CTY gave them the business with like with a sick Windrunner mid 3 games in a row during scrim.
Yeah, maybe that's what this is about. CTY's like, I can win this 1v1. I can dumpster SCCC with my Windranger with his Death Prophet, but this is where the spanner gets thrown in the works a little bit because Newbee are just going to pick up the Earth Spirit. We saw this in the previous game. Very potent combination. Killed the sniper a whole bunch. SCCC had not such a fun time, and I imagine that Newbee are looking to dole out a little bit of that punishment themselves this game.
Yeah, they actually steal picks a lot. Even in the VG Thunder game, right? We saw the tiny roster that they won against, but they kind of almost lost to, I would like to say. And they just picked it up last game. You know, they're just trying these picks out, and honestly, it's as you said before, right? This is a field of experience and experimentation for them, going into DAC, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody wants to. If you can figure something out and be one step ahead of the meta, that's the dream for every Dota team, right?
Yes.
You can attest to that. Being a coach, it's not good enough to try and perfect what the current meta is because by the time you get to that point,
somebody will have already beat it. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Every single game counts in that regard, especially with tournaments. You don't have time to think too much about things, so what people do is they think in a vacuum, or they react based on what they see and what wins. So it's always very critical to have that ability to assess and discern what's really important, but more importantly, just to adapt. Like, if they pick this Death Prophet Earth Spirit opening, like, for Newbee this game, how I would think about it is like, look, they just gave us the business in the middle line last game. Let's pick this set of heroes and see what's going to happen, how they would respond in kind. Now, the only problem is, in terms of a learning perspective, Windrunner and Kunkka are not the best heroes against this double silence, double slow stun lineup in Newbee. So I'm not sure how much they will quote-unquote learn, but at the very least, they're going to be experimenting with the lineup that they almost, they had some issues with.
Yeah, I theoretically like the Kunkka against the Death Prof, right? You get some lockdown, you got some burst, but at the same time, she's a fairly tanky hero. She's going to buy a Yules.
Yeah, well, that's the big thing, right? It's like, one, DP is a natural Yules buyer, and two, the only thing that interrupts a Kunkka's 1,000 cast range combo is a silence from a long distance, and then DP has that as well. So
10 seconds.
This is another hero that. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna flame Bristleback too much because I think he does actually have a place. And you look at there've been some pretty good Bristleback performances recently. I think the Secret at Dream League.
Yeah, I mean, come on, you only say that because Secret won a game with it. Let's be real here. Secret makes every hero look good, man. That's not fair.
Was that Bristle Wisp as well?
I believe so, and it was a specific Bristle too, because they didn't just pick it like first pick. They picked it into a specific hero that they were laning against, and I can't recall the matchup, but if I recall, I mean, if I can remember something else, Ace did play it as well.
Yeah. Well, to me, what's really cheating is Bristle Wisp. Bristle Wisp is cheating. Like, I think Bristleback by himself at the moment, I've seen him lose a lot of games. My general opinion of this hero is not very high. They could pick Wisp if they wanted it, but Newbee is just going to fire back with a Legion Commander. EHOME. Alright. OD.
Into a DP Earth Spirit. So they can have Aura for the Bristleback to spam cools infinitely.
I mean, you got the Imprison against the duel.
It's good against LC. Yes, it's good against LC.
I've heard people talk favorably about this matchup against Death Prophet. Sure, the silence is annoying, but at least you're pretty bursty, right?
I mean, honestly, the laning phase is not good for OD at all. Because OD, how he wants to play is he wants to get this orb, and he wants just to like right-click and zone you out. Most bad matchups for OD traditionally, like you can find a way to win with that orb and some good lane positioning, like against Sniper and Shadow Fiend comes to mind. But against DP, like she always has the superior range, superior damage, superior animation, and she has the silence as the game goes on. So I'm really not a fan of this OD pick. But I'm not a fan of like most of this draft, man. I don't know. They're just picking Windrunner, Bristleback third, OD fourth. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is weird. I like this for Newbee.
Some stuff.
Warlock's been trending a little bit recently. Teams have been liking him a little bit more. We're in a fairly heavy teamfight meta, so it makes sense that Warlock's coming in a little bit. Potential really good dual lane synergy with the Legion Commander if they want to contest that lane. I think Legion Commander, if you're going to run it off lane, have to run the dual lane. Have to be able to contest. Earth Spirit Warlock is kind of an old school China combo as well, right? There's so much damage between the Fatal Bonds and the Magnetize. I think this makes a lot of sense.
You know who picks this combo really often? Two teams pick this combo very often. OG actually first picked this very often. They actually pick like Earth Spirit Warlock very frequently. Another team that does this is Fnatic. They first pick the Warlock and they pick like Earth Spirit or Clockwork. And honestly, as you said, it's just a team fight monster in this hero, right? Like you receive a multiple set of nerfs on like mana cost and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he's still a stable support in the safe lane that'll heal up your carry and make it very hard to kill him. And you'll also scale into a big team fight monster that counters a lot of big abilities. Like one that comes to mind is the Enigma Black Hole. You can never really use it against the Warlock, right?
Yeah, and you got Ravage on the stick. It's pretty good.
Yep.
It's hard to complain. So I like Newbee's lineup a lot so far.
I mean, I'll be completely honest. This is a very massive outdraft in my opinion, entirely because EHOME's lineup can never teamfight Newbee. Like, if there's ever a point where Newbee decide to collapse their 5 heroes into any objectives of EHOME, and they will because they're Newbee, this is how they play, EHOME will have to scatter and run. Unless they get a 2-man shackle on some DP Warlock and they kill them before the Rock and Legion Commanders on the other side of the map or something. Like, I just don't see these scenarios ever being favorable for EHOME. They have to snowball every single lane to be able to come out ahead.
Yeah. So could we maybe be looking at like a position 5 Wind Ranger here, and then they'll just pick a... I mean, what lane are we even looking at for the last pick? I guess maybe safe lane?
I don't know, but Tiny... They picked Lone Druid there. I don't know, like, Tiny hasn't been picked or banned, but I feel like if Newbee picked Tiny right there and then, I actually just don't know what EHOME do. They have, like, no lane pressure whatsoever. They're just going to get shoved in. At the same time, though, they have Lone Druid now. Lone Druid is not the best hero against OD because he can just Astral the Bear most of the time. But now that there's, like, the Helm of Dominator build and the ranged Lone Druid build coming in from Ace again. So, pretty good.
Yeah, Lundred's been seeing quite a bit of popularity, right? Fnatic have been picking him like crazy. And a couple of other teams also getting in there. All right, we will see the Wisp in the end. It is going to be... oh, okay, it's a CTY Kunkka. We did see the... who was he playing
Mid
against?
one.
Yeah, mid one Kunkka.
Secret mid one, yep.
Was it against Empire?
Oh, he played a few games. He played a one game against Fnatic as well.
No, but specifically against the Death Prophet.
Oh, yes. The matchup.
Yeah.
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 Pretty good.
Yeah, it looked really good for the Kunkka. He's a pretty strong mid lane hero overall, being able to get the denies, lots and lots of harassment. So we'll see how this goes. I would imagine that they're not going to be leaving SCCC alone too much, and that's the one downside of the Kunkka, is he is a very gankable hero. So gonna have to be wary of that Kaka Earth Spirit moving around.
Yeah, it's like the DP will just hit him a lot, and if he gets too close, he'll just sap him for like 4 or 5 seconds, and it'll take a lot of damage. It's a nice move though overall, because you do want the OD laning against the LC, although the OD can kind of be pressured, but they have probably the Windrunner sitting around, so it shouldn't be too bad. I think the Wisp last pick is the real flavor, the real treat to this lineup here. It's going to be very dependent on how well the Bristleback does in his lane.
Prepare for battle.
Yeah, this should help Bristle a lot, get that little bit of extra sustain, make him difficult to kill early on. I wish I knew what Innocence was asking here. Oh well. But yeah, this is a very strong dual lane. The Wisp is actually kind of a lane-winning hero in his own right. Right, you can move around. You're constantly topping off all your heroes with bottle. Can really tip some lane matchups one way or the other. Kaka gonna come rolling up onto the high ground here, straight into CTY. Trade a couple of hits. Earth Spirit not actually opting for the Orb of Venom at level 1. Kaka has himself a Blightstone. What do you make of that?
I'm a little surprised myself not going for the orb. I feel like it's always better against Wisp as well. You just want to slow her down and keep hitting her so she can't bottle charge. But at the same time, I guess... Oh, I understand what's going on. Okay, so because Mugi has the Orb of Venom, they just didn't want to double up on it. I believe that's the theory.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, we do have an orb already on the Spirit Bear. I don't know if he'll maybe fast-ish Medallion, faster Roche. Innocence taking some harassment here. KP knows that he has the backup of the Warlock, so they're just going to contest this bounty. They grab 1, 2, and this will be the 3rd for Newbee. Nice little start to this game. EHOME not really able to contest.
I mean, I'll be honest. I still think the Orb of Venom is better regardless, because he's not going to just be playing entirely in this lane, right? At one point, he's going to go into these other lanes. He's going to slow other targets. You want that Orb, do that extra damage as well. But it is what it is. It's something they talked about, probably had a discussion about, so.
Yeah. We're probably going to try and first blood this Wisp, I suppose. See what happens. HYM going to get scouted coming into the lane. Kaka going to give him a few slaps. HYM just staying inside of his tower range at the moment. Faith Beyond going to start spamming the quills early on. Knows that he is going to have the help from the Wisp later on to regen his mana, so it's not a huge deal. Kaka needs to be careful. Already dropping kind of low. These quills are stacking up, and if they can keep body blocking him... Oh, they got in front of him! He thought he was right at the cliff, but still going to be brought down. Oh, man. This has been a series of just kind of clowny Earth Spirit plays. We had those HYM kicks in the previous game, and now Kaka manning up a bit too hard.
I mean, I don't even know if you call that man up, right? He literally just sat there and just took too many hits. Rolled in like a 0 angle roll. I don't know, man. That was not a Kaka play, that's for sure.
And with that, EHOME gonna be just fine up here at top. Same kind of story is happening bottom though. KP's just running in, right-clicking old OD, putting on the pressure as the Legion commander. I haven't seen a KP Legion for a little bit actually, but I guess they're kind of counter-picking the Bristleback here. Manipulate his positioning. Don't have to really care about the Bristleback at that point.
Now, if you look at bottom though,
yeah, it's just right.
The lane that you said, right?
Yeah.
The Legion commander can lane with the Warlock. It's a very strong sustain lane. Even though there's an OD that's technically good against Legion, you know, if you don't have the levels to be able to sustain the usage of the Arcane Orb with the Essence Aura, then Legion's still gonna out-sustain you, hit you up.
Bouncer in battle coming up. Faith gets the first one. Innocent's going to try and run past him potentially and grab the other. Faith wants the haste instead. Might be able to force Innocence to TP and not even force him. Innocence is just going to TP straight out. Actually, TP's down bottom. Wants to keep on going with the OD down here.
Yep, he needs to have lane presence. As soon as he leaves the lane, like the OD would have gotten relentlessly bullied out of the lane. So you can't leave as the support, no matter what HP you are.
Yeah, it's not easy. He does manage to interrupt this side pull. Nicely done. Taking a lot of damage as a result. The Fatal bonds them together. KP doesn't have the nuke for a little bit. But they're just losing the sustain and regen battle down here. No tangos left for the Wind Ranger. OD still has 2, but there's just no way that you win it against the Warlock. Oh, another nuke coming in. One touch is going to kill Innocence. Not even one touch from KP. Faith just finishes it. And KP going to go and hit those creeps just to secure the maximum damage on OD. He's rolling, trying to hope for a couple of procs on the Essence Aura, but not getting too lucky. And mid lane, SCCC is still doing fine. TTY, I mean, doing reasonably, but not really harassing him down too much. Kaka rolled through a second ago, just putting a little bit of damage down.
Yeah. It'd be nice if he comes back now, though. There's a double wave building up. The Kunkka can't really shove this out too much, even though he has the Tiebringer. If they just sap and stun him up under the tower, he'll probably die.
KP losing some int. Doesn't have the mana just yet for the overwhelming odds, so he's going to be okay. Kaka lurking behind, but Faith actually heading all the way back to base. And they will actually spot out Kaka here. And he get the boulder smash and roll away. No, Innocence moves forward just in time. The stun not a long enough duration. And OD going to pick up some fat stacks, right-clicking down that Earth Spirit.
Kaka, man. Not sure.
Yeah, we're like
he's 0
for 2 so far. Not having the greatest time. 0 for 2 on the rotations. I mean, he put that pressure at mid, but I think SCCC was doing just fine. And Newbee actually across the board finding great CS. I mean, even though the Earth Spirit isn't doing that much, he doesn't really need to. They're gonna get the X marks to spot out. Actually, Wisp now tethering in. Maybe a little bit of a turnaround. Torrent's still on cooldown. CTY just gonna lane with the harassment. Kaka almost dead, but there's a regen rune waiting. And
yeah, I think
needs to dodge the torrent. Nicely done.
Regeneration.
Yeah. Another deny attempt, just like what DDC did earlier.
Yeah.
I think the lanes are definitely going as expected. I assume Newbee will just flat out win all 3 of these lanes. It will be a little bit tricky when Bristle does finish his Vanguard, because the Lone Druid will no longer do damage, even with the roots. It's going to be kind of like an island up here. They're just going to be farming on each other. No real ganks. But bottom and mid, though, these are problem lanes for EHOME, especially bottom. I don't see this going any better anytime soon.
Still getting pressured a lot. OD getting a couple of CS under his tower, but they're even... Newbee's stacking up these neutrals over here. They do need to be a little bit careful. The Bristleback could kind of rotate at any time and clear this.
Run at them with quills.
Yeah. This is somewhat dangerous. I mean, they have decent ways to clear it themselves, but not as reliable. So I'm a little bit worried about this neutral stack. Newbee gonna have to protect it, for sure. So far, they are building up a bit of a lead across the 3 lanes. They've definitely got the better tier 1 tower taking potential as well early on. And KP just running underneath the tower, putting the pressure on. Also driving back Innocence. KP's making a statement about whose lane this is.
He's also got phase boots coming in, and he obviously just wants to fight, so he's gonna just run at them even harder now with the phase boots.
EHOME is sitting behind SCCC at mid. Maybe once the Kunkka grabs level 6, this could actually be a kill. SCCC's kind of low. Maybe he's going to get forced back, tap the shrine.
It's a level 1 X though.
Yeah, you got to just walk up with no boots.
Yeah. Not sure. If they can get it, it might be a kill with the bolt, but again, I don't know the likely prospects of that.
Alright, KP farming this stack. Spamming it down with the overwhelming odds. Innocence needs to be careful. It's going to get fatal bonds to the stack. In fact, Kaka catches him with the boulder smash. They've waited out most of the wind run duration. The shackle shot does catch onto 2. Now the turnaround coming in from the Wisp. KP going to get healed up. Drops the overwhelming odds onto a bunch of heroes and speeds away with his phase boots. And Newbee forced to retreat. Good rotation from the Wisp, but unfortunately no kill for EHOME.
And now Mugi's finished the Helm of Dominator. I actually think the correct play here is for Mugi to port down there with Dominator and just shove them out completely. And what that would do is allow Bristleback to push it in, or port down to bottom to defend the tower. But it's just like the first move that Newbee makes that's going to have a lot of impact. Because honestly, EHOME are just not ready on their side lanes to deal with anybody extra right now beyond what they're dealing with. Actually, it looks like EHOME's the one that's making the first move. Kunkka's coming down here.
Yeah, He is running right past the Dire Observer Ward, though, so Newbee know exactly what's happening. Kaka going to be able to shove in the mid lane a little bit. As Triple C was actually also rotating over towards
this top to try and shove this tower with the Dominator timing. So something similar to what I had liked. Although I'm not sure if this is the best target. I don't think they can kill Bristle for one. He'll be able to actually hold the tower with the Vanguard.
The big creeps are still in this stack. Faith looking like he might lose his life. They wanted KP instead, and they actually just let Faith run past. Is he going to get caught by the Torrent? He won't. Shackle slows him down a tiny bit. They will go for the Imprison, and now look to surround him. CTY is just boat farming the neutrals.
Oh, God.
I saw the shark spawn and go this way, and I was like, wait, what? And then, well, there you go. We got a kill up top. They do manage to bring down the Bristleback. Now CTY is TPing in, but one more touch from this bear might be his undoing. Nice shackle. A little bit of damage onto Moogie, but still has plenty of wand charges. They lose the Bristle. They still have about a third of this Exorcism to go as they work on the tower. And EHOME, I mean, they got that stack at bottom, but not sure if that was worth it overall for the Kunkka rotation.
I mean, they lost their strongest hero in turn, right? They also lost the tower, so it's going to be even more free farm space for Moogie here. Again, I thought the play was impossible, but then the Earth Spirit came and actually landed a huge stun. Very nice rotation from Newbee all around, and you can see it reflecting the gold.
This Triple C is getting run at. Kaka's here, kicks him away, tries for the roll, doesn't quite escape. Looks like Kaka's going to be paying with his life. I think he could have maybe just stunned the heroes, but alright. He made sure that his Triple C survived.
I mean, I'm honestly so confused at this point. You're absolutely right. He could have literally just kicked one of them back probably and survived. I don't know, man. Kaka's going for some flashy-ass plays.
Yeah, if he just kicks the Kunkka away, right? Kunkka's got 1 point in X. It's just like, oh yeah. The Bristleback can keep on chasing, but sure. Yeah.
I don't know, man. This is some weird stuff happening for sure. Well, SCC does live.
Yep, and he goes right back to farming, working towards his Yule Scepter. Newbee just going to be waiting for their cooldowns a little bit, but not even that long for the Exorcism. Faith already setting up some aggro wards down in this Radiant jungle. You can already kind of see Newbee signaling their next play, right? You just look at the ward positions on the map, and you know exactly what they're planning. KP going to try for the duel. He gets it on the tether through, but there is going to be an Imprison, and now KP's taking some damage, getting stacked up. He is being healed as well. Looks like he should survive. There's no Sanity's Eclipse just yet. Faith probably not quite so lucky. Couple more auto attacks. They've got that bonus move speed. OD actually pretty nice synergy with the Wisp. The attack speed and the move speed he absolutely loves. KP escapes, but EHOME find that kill.
So again, like in terms of hero distributions, I really feel this Lone Druid should be making his way down to bottom lane. He's the only one that can really shove out this OD right now, and with the farm advantage he has, he should definitely look to do so. But instead they're just like losing out on the Legion Commander now as well as the Warlock because they just don't scale well into the OD. Finally, they smoke. They're making a rotation to the OD, I believe, and this should be the tower if they can secure the kill.
Yeah. They are going to leave the Lone Druid to pressure mid in the meanwhile. Moogie has picked up some power treads, so maybe signaling that we are going to be seeing the ranged build here for him.
Yep.
And Newbee, they want this kill. They're going to run in. They're going to get the duel as well, along with the Exorcism. No counter initiation available for EHOME. They just leave the OD completely for dead. Maybe even rotating in here with their siege creep will be able to grab this tier 1. EHOME going to try and fight back. They're going to try and take this tier 1 tower over at the top side. Big rotation coming in from CTY's Kunkka. Going to land the Blind Torrent. Does get the X off, and now following it up with the boat. Kaka shouldn't be able to play his way out of this. Also going to get shackled. Quick kill for EHOME, but losing mid tower, losing bottom tower. They're just getting pressured everywhere, and they don't really have the push to find trades. Even Bristleback TP mid.
Yeah, good TP by Bristle. The unfortunate problem with this is that they're going to get shoved in even harder at bottom. They know for sure Bristle can't port bottom now. And as long as Newbee hold the mid tower, this Bristle will still have to leave the lane because he doesn't want to be mid. He wants to be able to shove in one of the side lanes with his all his farm advantage, his tankiness.
Yeah, I'd rather leave the mid lane for somebody else, right? Take the safe farm. CTY does manage to grab that top tower. Going to be going for a Shadow Blade first. Won't be seeing the, I guess, sort of used to the armlet. We've got a rotation in towards mid. Newbee do have the Chaotic Offering ready. They won't be able to burst down Faith. He doesn't get shackled with the creep wave. And now the Fatal Bond along with the nuke from the Legion Commander just rips them apart. Kaka rolls in, finds a nice two-man stun. KP, are they going to try and dive this Bristle? They need to be a little bit careful as Triple C is keen, but KP just wants to focus on the objective. Newbee not in full agreement about what they should do now. They are going to be TPing in this OD. What can he find? Kaka runs into him around the corner. He will get banished up. Feast Beyond still taking a lot of damage. Legion Commander going forward with that overwhelming odds, doing so much work. Long-range boulder smash, not going to connect from Kaka, but looks like KP should be able to head off the OD at the pass. Nice stomp from the Helm of the Dominator creep, locks him down. They find yet another kill, and Newbee. This is like you were saying during the draft, Claire. As soon as Newbee decides to just deathball one lane, EHOME really have nothing that they can do.
I mean, come on, man. They got a Rin Ranger 5 position and a Wisp 4.
Innocence is jamming these shackles, but what can they actually do? Faith's gonna try for the TP out. He's gonna get X'd. He still goes all the way back to the fountain anyway. Why not? He's gonna keep on running, and he will be brought down at the end of the day. Everybody else from Newbee just scatter.
Goodbye of Cruel World as he sinks to the fishes of the torrents. But yeah, man, look, position Windrunner, 4 position Wisp. We're not taking any team fights this game. As long as Warlock Rock is up or any ultimates on Newbee, it's just gonna be too much force, too much presence to deal with. In the meantime, they do get the Warlock kill again, pushing in mid. Bristol doesn't want to be here, but they're kind of just doing a ping pong bounce effect now. Mugi free farming and pushing bottom lane.
Yep, got a double damage bear. This tier 2 tower is looking pretty. Oh, might even be dead at this point.
Yeah.
Mugi gonna pop the battle cry and look at this bear go.
No glyph. No glyph. Dead for sure.
Torrent stops him for a second, but I think he just commits. Oh, nice deny. And Mugi gets the TP out. Can they save the bear? Also, A-okay.
Yeah. Should have X'd the bear. They were gone to kill. Bristol's really good at sniping the bear because he just keeps running with it.
Yeah, keep spamming quills, spam the goo. I think he got roared though, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's the thing though. He came in close range, right? He has like 800 cast range on the X. Here's a smoke coming from Newbee. Very low resources on SCC, but I guess it doesn't matter. If he finds the Arcane Rune though, which he will, that's gonna be free.
Yeah. Who needs mana when you've got the Arcane Rune? You are fine. OD's still farming, trying to get up to his Force Staff. Getting those points up in the Arcane Orb, ready to start dealing some damage. Link up with the Wisp. Oh, they're going to go for this Kunkka. Link in, duel. Can they get the relocate out? They're going to try for it, but they silence the Wisp, interrupting that. They don't focus the damage on the Kunkka just yet, but looks like they should still be able to run him down. One more touch. He's ticking, he's gone. KP's running out through the mid. They're going to camp out the Wisp as he returns to the fight. KP might actually end up going down to Faith Beyond. Rock gets dropped onto 2. They actually brought the OD into this fight. What can they actually do? He's silenced and silenced and silenced. He finally manages to imprison himself. They're also kiting the Bristleback. They Yules him up. OD pops out. He's dead. That's 3 down on the EHOME side. And Newbee just going to keep on running forward. They do need to be a little bit careful. These quills are stacking up with the Exorcism. Also doing great damage. And one more touch as SCCC finds a triple kill. Innocent's gonna ping out the there's actually a ward exactly where he pinged, but doesn't matter that he knows now. Newbee just heads straight into the pit. Very easy teamfight victory for them.
Yeah. The bear, the rock, and the presence, they're gonna be able to take this one down for sure. Yeah, man, I don't know. The OD right into the middle of the fray there into a rock. Not sure if that was the play, man.
He's as good as useless once he's silenced, right? Like,
yeah,
just has to run around. Can't do anything. They chuck the Aegis onto the Lone Druid. He's got a Maelstrom completed. They're going to duel up this Kunkka. He is surviving for a little bit longer. He might escape. I don't know about HYM though. Yeah, he gets rooted. And he's going to get right-clicked down. They pop the Crimson Guard. They're trying to fight. Faith Beyond wants to run in here. He's got those Quill Spray stacks, but they're just focusing on the softer targets. The supports are down already, and that's a lot of the lockdown already dead for the EHOME side. OD still just getting sniped by the Lone Druid. They will let him go. CTY finds himself a DD. Maybe he can get a courier snipe. He's going to be up here at just the right time. No.
I'm a little surprised though. Given the amount of duels that KPI had this game to set up kills, he's only got 10 duel damage.
Yeah.
So pretty little considering all the activity that he's been taking part in.
Nice cleave. Huge the damage. KP going to try for the blink away. Still brings him back. Nicely done. Straight into the torrent. Relocate even coming in. HOA, I'm not sure if he needed that little bit of extra help, but solid solo kill.
A lot of net worth swinging that 531 gold. Pretty good. I don't know if Wisp was there for the assist gold or AoE gold, but regardless, something they need right now, among many other things, to crawl back into this game.
C2I knows that Kaka is potentially up here, going to spot him now. And Innocent's also going to come running forward. Tries for the shackle off the creep. I think that was a little bit bold. Now Kaka might be able to play his way out of this. He finds the roll angle, and he's going to go for the TP. Can they imprison him? Yes, they can. Nice 4-staff forward from the OD. A little bit more difficult than this kill needed to be. I don't know. Innocence was just trying too hard to be cool, I guess.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man, these guys, they're playing for fun right now for sure.
Yeah, I get the feeling this is the like, oh yeah, what hero do you want to play?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Innocence literally picked Wind Ranger himself. He's thinking, alright, I want to play Wind Ranger.
Yeah.
Now Faith is dead.
Or is he? Yes, he is. Probably. He's going to drop the rock. They've also got SCCC coming in. No Faith. Oh, one last auto attack. Follows after him. He is going to end up being brought down. Bristleback's pretty tanky here, and he will get imprisoned as well. KP not successful with the duel. But they're just going to wait for him to pop out. Maybe run him down. SCCC only has the one Spirit Siphon left. They're doing good work with the Fatal Bonds. Mugi gets shackled to his bear. Nicely done by Innocence. Power Shot spam still coming out. This Shrine already used as EHOME retreat themselves back. But that's a rock dropped. And they got the Warlock kill, losing nobody. Nicely done. Oh. Newbee's still holding on to this high ground, though. Exorcism has a couple of seconds left. They're not willing to back up right away. EHOME really want this Warlock ball, and they are going to get it. Alright, I'm going to call that a success for EHOME.
Yeah, where was the Earth Spirit in that engagement?
I don't know.
I feel like if he was there to land a stun or two on some of the heroes, there would be a lot more kills. But as it stands, the duel was expended on the Bristleback and they didn't focus him down. He also got astral towards the end, so he survives. And then, yeah, on the high ground, like they had this choke point that nobody really committed to going past, which I thought the Earth Spirit would be the 1-4, and I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Half the middle.
Yep. Faithbeyond's getting real tanky at this point as well. Has the Medallion picked up, gonna be going for the Solar Crest. Odie, I mean, starting to get some damage. Once he gets the Dragon Lance, even without the Hurricane Pike, he will just be able to position a little bit better and not have to get as close to all of these silences, which is being really the bane of his existence. And CTY's almost got a crit. This is looking all right for EHOME, but Newbee's still finding the net worth lead. They are going to be going for a Silver Edge on the Lone Druid to try and make quick work of the Bristle, but EHOME with the smoke. They want KP. Can he blink out of this one? CTY's got to time it right. And he gets the combo easily. KP getting locked down. Can they save him? Looks like not enough damage, actually, as the silence comes through from SCCC. Faith Beyond still wants this kill. They're going to chase forward through the upheaval. OD getting slowed down. The bear is closing the gap onto him, and now the Boulder Smash. You wanted to know where Kaka was. He's here for this fight. Kanka also going to get caught. Double kill for KP. Innocence trying to windrun his way out on the other side. He's got some heals. They did manage to get the relocate out, but HYM also going to end up falling. And Newbee with all 5 at that fight, even without the Chaotic Offering, easily find the turnaround and straight onto this mid tier 2.
Yeah, reaching this Lone Druid right now is a real problem. Like this DP and LC are just creating too much presence in the fight. They're silencing up targets, doing a lot of burst damage with both their nukes. And Mugi is just, going to town with these guys from his like 1000 range right clicks. He's got the Aegis as well, so this high ground push is looking pretty strong. I don't know if they'll commit beyond the tower though.
Crimson Guard's helping a little bit to slow this down. They get the Bristle back up into the air, straight down into the Boulder Smash. They've actually got the Spirit Vessel. He's taken a lot of damage off of that, and they are going to focus their axe. Exorcism, only a couple of seconds left. Newbee needs to be careful about how long they stick around, but they've got the damage to finish it, and now try to escape. EHOME, can they get a catch? Innocence wants this shackle, wants to keep them here a little bit longer. He finds the 2-man, but they've got the purge from the press the attack. KP helping out, Kaka with the roll away, and Newbee disengaged cleanly.
Yeah, and
they're going to regoose. They're going back in.
Yeah.
2-man silence. Duel now coming in on the OD. HYM going to do his best to save him. He doesn't have to relocate. Boulder Smash keeping the lockdown. They do manage to get the duel victory. Innocence reveals his position on the high ground. He's going to be able to walk this one off, though, it looks like, but Newbee, I guess, just what they want to go. Are they going to go through mid to bottom? Is that the plan?
Yeah, they have Aegis. They can. I didn't realize it, but Faith had Rock come off cooldown during that push on the high ground, so there's no reason for them to not stay.
Yeah, they've got pretty much everything. Well, I mean, still 60 seconds on Exorcism, but
yeah, who needs Exorcism anyway?
Yeah, they're very strong at this point. CTY, all right, he's got the Crystallis. Time to roll for some damage. Didn't get the crit, but still chunking down Newbee pretty heavily. SCCC going to get caught here by the Torrent. Faith Beyond doing some good work, standing on the front lines, but like you said, they still just can't really get to the Lone Druid. Newbee will be able to heal themselves up, but looks like just back up into the Radiant Jungle for now, and probably take this Shrine. Why not? It's a freebie.
Reset and also use their gold. Right? They just gained like 5k gold advantage during that entire fight, so Courier should have been coming back and forth with some items. We see it already making a delivery or two, and yeah, they're gonna take the shrines. They're gonna. I don't think they really need to like force the timing with the Roche. Actually, as a matter of fact, it just expired. So
they're down bottom. They're going onto the Kunkka, gonna burst him down. KP with that blade mail, nice and fast. Nice triple C with the follow up.
And here's the EXO push. Oh, Wisp is dead.
Oh, Wisp is also here and dead in a few seconds. That's triple C is gonna pop the exorcism for him. Why not? Boulder Smash catches him on the way through. Nicely done by Kaka. Looks like he's warmed up now. But oh, maybe the Wisp still gonna survive. They're gonna drop the rock on him and Innocent. And Wisp is still surviving. HYM still bottling up. Newbee maybe diving a little bit too far to grab this Wisp kill. S-Triple-C popping the BKB at a somewhat weird time. OD's gonna see that and start licking his lips. He knows that there might be an opportunity to take a fight here. Faith Beyond needs to go in. They need to keep this OD alive though. He's gonna get silenced, also being nuked. Slowed up by the Warlock upheaval. And with that, they're actually zoning them off the buildings. The bear gets brought down. Mugi with the resummon. Does have the Savage Roar. Another silence coming in. They're just controlling the Bristleback. They want to focus onto the OD. KP not able to get the duel off in time, and he actually manages to imprison himself. Kaka comes in with the Boulder Smash. Complete whiff. Now trying to roll out, but Faith Beyond won't give him that opportunity. Mugi knows that he has to reset. Backs up. Does get the Shadow Blade off. Dusts it up. And he's just way too fast. And S-Triple-C looks for the turnaround. They nuke Innocence on the high ground. And Bristleback gonna get Yule's Kunkka. What can he do? Torrent, Boat, Bristleback gonna have a ton of damage reduction. But I don't know if he can really commit. The Fatal Bonds is on to everybody. Legion Commander does get the duel off, it looks like, but OD surviving a little bit too long, and he's getting a lot of stacks going. Still has a Sandy's Eclipse, drops it onto S-Triple-C. One more auto attack, gets the double. Though their base is still a shambles. They also catch KP, and looks like it should be a full team wipe in EHOME's favor. Ooh, OD. Nice little play. Keeps himself alive. I think he was actually fine, even with the blade.
Yeah. He was just scared that there was like a blade mail or a dual potential. Yeah. Wow. So, made it pretty heavily. Some BKBs were used without real purpose, and again, they were just caught deep using rock for trying to get a Wisp kill that they couldn't find. Yeah, a lot of things really, but
they just rocked the support. The BKB didn't do anything.
Yeah, they didn't even kill the guy they rocked, right?
Yeah, no.
So, Newbee, man, I don't know. I will be honest. If they do something like that again, this game is back. Like, EHOME are back. But I think for the time being, EHOME are getting what they can, and everything's still kind of on this Kunkka to get like a real lucky crit. If Newbee are keen, it's not going to be reliable enough.
C2I scouts Mugi. They're also going to come relocating in. They need this section. They're going to land the boat. Good job, and EHOME get that immediate pickup. And now they're actually managing to find more. Kaka being caught out. He's going to get caught by the X. Newbee bringing in the rest of their heroes. They're going to drop the rock now along with the Fatal Bonds. I think it might just be too much damage. They charge forward at S-Triple-C, but he's getting body blocked. The Exorcism doing decent work. OD, one more nuke brings him down. Now we look towards the high ground. The Fatal Bonds is just doing way too much. Faith Beyond, will we even end up losing the Kunkka as he takes damage? No, Faith Beyond's actually still alive, still running for it, but the Ghosts finish him off. Alright, even without their Lone Druid, Newbee are still very strong, very teamfight capable. And,
LC duel?
Yeah, he wants it. KP, move speed, running forward, blink, duel, blade mail. Blade mail not going to do that much, but the auto attack's more than enough. You had some vision, I believe. Oh no. Maybe not.
Now it's unfortunate for them that they lost Lone Druid at the start, but hold that thought. Another X.
Alright, he heals himself. Alright, Kaka setting himself up for disaster now. The boat will finish him off. CTY wants to go into KP, but doesn't realize perhaps that the rest of Newbee are just around the corner. S-Triple-C draining him out. Innocent's gonna give up his life, it looks like, perhaps. Oh, and OD now making an appearance. Faith actually gonna get driven back. Locking on to KP with the X marks the spot. OD still wants this Faith kill. Mugi's in the area, no bear just yet. What is going on? This is a fight for kind of no objective, but looks like they are still going to be able to get KP. Pops the blade mail, turns around, does a little bit of damage. OD needs to be careful about killing himself. He will be okay. C2I is also very low, but at least they've got the Wisp to come in and heal everybody up. And Mugi running forward while they have two heroes dead. Newbee, what are you guys doing at the moment? What is happening? This is not the disciplined Newbee team that I know. This is some very casual Newbee play. Nice Yules up under the ODs, blink it forward aggressively. Shackle not gonna latch. S-Triple-C finds a little hole in between the trees. Still has the BKB. They are gonna reload forward. Faith. Alright, BKB TP from S-Triple-C. He knows when to call it quits. Faith also gets the TP out. Can they save the Spirit Bear? Looks like no. Mugi is going to lose his loyal companion. EHOME all the way behind the creep wave here. Finish it, OD. Yeah, alright, nice. 300 gold for him. 48 install.
They're just out now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, their tier 4s are taking damage.
Yes, that's definitely a concern. The Bristle blocking back just to restore his regen mana there. Can't really sustain the fight without it right now. Even with the OD there, he's been spamming a lot this game, and he's been finding himself out low on it sometimes. But the next Roshan is the big thing, obviously. When Newbee decide to get together, they will probably just walk into the Rosh pit. That will be the next big fight for sure, assuming that Kaka doesn't try to do anything crazy here.
He's just trying to de-ward around the pit. Picked up the gem, so secure that vision advantage. CTY with the Daedalus, going to be rolling for some crits. They do spot SCCC, he gets torrented, but there isn't really any damage in the area. They're going to keep threatening him. They want to try and force out that BKB, but SCCC knows that he has his team just around the corner, so he's not too concerned. And it's actually Newbee taking the high ground. It would make sense to take this shrine before they try and take Rosh. That would be perhaps a wise play to make.
Or EHOME can just fight under their 23 HP tower. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're definitely going to deny that one up. Oh, they've managed to catch the OD outside of the base. Can he get the Force Staff off? No, he won't be able to. Now he's also being feared, controlled. Actually, they got the reload back. HYM, godly play, keeps him alive. And now, EHOME might be able to find something else, but this is a dangerous high ground to be pushing up. Kaka not going to get caught by the torrent. Innocence goes running in, just scouting a little bit. Exorcism now being popped. If they can kite Newbee, that would be great, but KP wants to run in. He finds a dual lockdown. He focuses on the Wind Ranger here instead of trying to go for the OD, knowing that there might be some saves for the OD. Faith Beyond also running back. They're trying to get this Exorcism into the base. They're just looking for kills. There isn't a lane of racks to take down here. And Newbee now might get caught on the way out. Nah.
What is going on, man? I have no idea what is going on. At the very least, tower is dead now. They'll take the shrine, probably look at Rosh, even though the Exorcism is down. They might decide to play it slow and safe, but...
Kaka. Alright, he does have a Yules. He does have the roll. Now they drop the rock onto 2. KP jumping in. No duel just yet. SCCC running forward. Faith Beyond. He's actually being broken up by the Lone Druid. KP still just looking for auto attacks, but Bristleback too tanky with the overcharge. He's going to be okay. Warlock Golem going to be focused down once again. Newbee, even without their ultimates, they are just so aggro. I guess they know that the creeps are constantly streaming into the base, and EHOME are being forced to deal with that, but...
Yeah, EHOME can't really commit outside the base. The last time they did, they obviously lost that the Wind Ranger is getting caught up from the duel there. Speaking of which, the duel is up again, so there's that much more threat to be applied against EHOME. They can't walk out the base even further. As I say that, they smoke. They're going for a last-ditch attempt to loop around because they realize Roshan's a possibility.
Smoke broken. Newbee still just holding this high ground. They get the bonds out onto a couple. EHOME having to be somewhat afraid. They're also just going to kite themselves backwards. Definitely want to wait out this Fatal Bonds if they can. Very, very annoying, especially for the OD. His Blink Dagger is just constantly being cancelled. Can't really do anything. SCCC is waiting down the low ground. He's going to get caught by the Torrent. He's got his BKB. He's got his heals. He does get shackled over onto Kaka. Both going to come flying through. Both teams lobbing spells at each other, but not really committing just yet. Now Newbee come running forward. But they have the Exorcism. They do. They've isolated the Bristleback, but Kaka wants to roll into the back lines. Can they cancel this relocate out? He will actually prevent the tether at the very least. Faith Beyond still getting run down. They're right-clicking him. Mugi laying in with the auto attacks to kill off HYM. Bristleback forced to run on the back lines of this fight. Kunkka's being caught out by KP. Innocence doing his best to save him, but not really all that much he can do. Kaka gets juked. Innocence still running. SCCC is running down people over by the tier 4 towers. OD's doing his best in this fight. Gets the Hurricane Pike over onto Mugi. Nice blink across as well. Oh man, OD is playing his heart out, but just can't really do enough damage. Mugi getting cleaved down. They get the Yules onto the Kunkka. Can he get one more shot? Might be able to finish Mugi. Nope, doesn't even turn around for the auto attack. And EHOME, they're finally going to tap out of this bizarre game. GG called.
Yeah, that's, well, he gets a nice celebratory kill there at the end. Although, I guess EHOME doesn't have too much to celebrate. They are now officially eliminated from the previous game as well, and Newbee looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they looked looked reasonably confident. They won every single game today. That is going to put them in the number 2 spot for their group in DPL. I don't know if this is necessarily a preview of what we're going to be seeing in DAC tomorrow. I would hope that Newbee are a little bit more disciplined than the play that they showed in this game, because there were some bizarre decisions, like, oh, we could take the Shrine and Roche, or we could just sit on this hill and throw spells at them for 15 minutes.
Have a little fun, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll be fine. I think the real Newbee is going to be more reflected by their first series against VG Thunder, which was honestly a pretty handy job that they pulled out against VG Thunder. Regarding DAC too, it's just going to be a great event. I know this tournament that we just watched, DPL, it's seeding into MDL Changsha, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing Newbee there myself. Well, I say that, but it's really my guys, my team on VG Storm. It's unfortunate that VG Thunder crumbled the way they did in the first series, but EHOME in the second game, or the second series rather, they had some fun with it.
Yeah, EHOME knew that they were eliminated. Definitely, I think, did the what hero do you want to play draft. We got to see some Innocence Wind Ranger. He landed some nice shackles that game.
Oh, come on, dude. He spent half the game throwing random shackles on creeps just trying to get those nice shackles.
That's true. That's true.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
That right there is the problem.
Yeah, when the Earth Spirit was X'd in the middle, like right next to some trees and about to get torrented, and he like runs in and throws the shackle onto the creep. That was... I think that to me summarized a lot of this game. EHOME were just kind of trying to style as best they could, but Newbee also...
TI winners, man. Every single one of them.
Yep.
TI winners. Shaking my head.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up for DPL coverage, and that's actually it for the DPL group stage. I will... maybe we can just look quickly at the eliminated teams. So, unfortunately, Group A, Vici Gaming Potential, and CDEC both knocked out. Group B, EHOME and Team Max both gone. So the DPL, once it resumes, should be pretty exciting. I think we actually now have the full bracket, and it is going to be... Oh, it'll be updated on Wikipedia, I'm sure. I don't have it to be able to show everybody here. But thanks so much for casting with me, Claire. It was a pleasure as always. We haven't casted together for a while, but good times.
Yeah. And honestly, I do look forward to it again. I'm just on my break period now. VG Storm we qualified for 2 events through DNA qualifiers, and the guys earned the very well-deserved break. So if you guys can just show us some love in the upcoming lands for Changsha as well as Thailand, as well as following the social media for the team, which is at Team VGJ, for Twitter, Facebook, and myself as well, Clairvoyance102. Once again, Baseskip, I'm sure this is going to be a more frequent occurrence in the future. So thanks again a lot.
Looking forward to it. To everybody who tuned in, thank you very much for watching. I don't know when I'm going to be back for more casting, since, of course, we're all going to be watching DAC for the next few days, so I hope you guys enjoy that. If you want to follow my social media, my handle is just down in the title. I'm on Facebook and Twitter and all that other nonsense. I'll hopefully catch you guys there. Thanks so much for watching, and from the two of us, that's it. See you sometime soon.